participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school. They'll stress less and smile more. And they'll be laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Get down now, and make it play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Insomniacs, friends of the Huddle. Let's huddle up on a Wednesday in the good land. A Wednesday where it still feels like winter a little bit, and yet everything's pulling us towards spring. From the World Baseball Classic to the basketball tournaments to the commercials for the Masters
to the Shamrock Shake.
We're quite at Hump Day, literally. It's an inflection point of our week. It's an inflection point of the seasons. You can feel it. Snow is going to melt very quickly this week as we get warm up. We'll think warm thoughts. We're moving closer to opening day, and we're moving closer to our favorite day of the week right here, Hot Take Hump Day on the program.
Yes.
Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you, basking in the glow of another great athletic endeavor. International pride, national pride on the line last night in Miami in the World Baseball Classic, and Venezuela prevails. So while you can be disappointed the U.S. didn't win, you'll be happy for Venezuela the way they enjoyed things with the Contreras boys and Churio.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Drew, frankly, it's one of those games where you can be upset if you deserve to win, and then you can look at the USA lineup and say, well, I didn't deserve to win. What did you end up with? 2 hits in the entire night. Luckily, Bryce Terang was the only one to get one across on Rodriguez early. But this was famed and lauded as the greatest lineup that was ever put together for the United States in the World Baseball Classic, and it came up small in the biggest moments outside of, one of the cooler
Great
shots
moments.
you're going to see there in the 8th inning.
That was
My
a cool
goodness.
moment. That was a cool moment.
Bryce Harper's game-tying 2-run jack.
And you got to say one thing about Bryce Harper. He seems to come up in those moments.
Son of a gun's clutch.
Clutch. And in those moments, unfortunately, it's not going to end up in a victory, and we won't remember it like that. But that was one of the great moments because you're right, Billy. They talk about this lineup. Drew, you talked about it. except for that Bryce Harper home run, no runners in scoring position. Oh, I mean, that's terrible. Come on.
Not one runner at second base.
That's terrible work. I mean, you can't have that. And Venezuela has a good team, and they have good pitchers, and obviously they should be proud of those guys, but you got to do better against that. I mean, if you think you're going to be the champions of the world in terms of this having to be the best lineup, the best team, you got to do better against that. So they got outplayed last night. I think better team won last night.
And Drew, you mentioned it with the celebration of the Contreras boys. That team Venezuela was ready to celebrate this one early.
Yes.
Wilson Contreras had the full autographed jersey on during the game. He's like, I'm celebrating this thing before we all start and everybody leaves.
How is that legal? Uniform legally.
William Contreras is sitting there with the Venezuelan flag in the back pocket the entire game. They were ready to celebrate in that first base dugout.
They were. Kudos to them. And Eugenio Suarez, the belle of the ball at the trade deadline last year, gets the big hit. He'll never have to pay for a meal in Venezuela ever again.
No doubt. And what an
national
interview.
hero.
And what an interview after. I mean, like the little bit that I was able to stay up, I'm glad I caught that minute and 14 seconds or whatever it was. Dude sounds like the absolute goods. And you mentioned it last year at the trade deadline. He had one big swing for Seattle. And now this is the second big swing since he was the biggest fish to be able to get. But Drew, he was a boomer bust guy at the deadline. That's what you knew you were hoping for. And he was the one that ended up getting that one swing. Also aided by a big time call there on that steal at second base.
Mm-hmm. This is the World Baseball, the resounding success again.
Massive
it has been
success.
in the past, even though the U.S. didn't win again.
Yeah.
U.S. gets the final and loses, but it's been a smash success. And I got a text pregame last night from my pal Andy in West Bend. He said, and he's a big fan, he said, I want to see some emotion from our team tonight.
Yeah.
Some of these guys will never play a bigger game in their lives. Now, you can say this is a junk sport, it's preseason, exhibition, blah, 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 but it meant something like the Olympics. It meant something. It's what the NBA is trying to do. Not so much with the All-Star game when they go world against the, U.S., but then what they're trying to do with the NBA Cup and just trying to get some juice where the players care about something that's not the Olympics. And it's hard because, now baseball might go to the Olympics. Does that put World Baseball Classic back burner? Does the Olympics then take precedence if MLB players play in 28 in L.A.? Do we lose this, what we had? I don't want to lose this.
Yeah, I don't want to either, Drew. And I don't want to mess with it too much, right? Like, I know there was a lot of people that really want to see it move to the middle of the year. That was the big conversation yesterday, that we'll get more guys. I like it being one where, there is a little bit of a risk. You do have to put out a little bit. There's a little bit of an outlay for the team, and there's a bit of a question mark for it. And it just seems like it means more when you do have to get yourself ready a little bit earlier. And the way that these guys had to dedicate themselves to it, it feels like Major League Baseball has finally found their World Cup, right? Like you mentioned it, if everyone's trying to fix the All-Star game. Well, Major League Baseball has the best All-Star game.
Yep.
It's the only one that actually resembles somewhat of a real game.
Yeah.
But what teams and what sports have been looking to get in the American society is something that is as celebrated and exciting as the World Cup every 4 years. And I think baseball finally found their version of it. I wouldn't mess with it too much. And I think Drew, I actually think it gets aided. We'll start a hot take, hump take here early.
All right,
I actually think it's a better thing for the World Baseball Classic that the USA didn't win last night.
Gets people going on it a little bit. Is that why?
It gets more guys excited. Yeah. It gets more Paul Skeens like players, Roman Anthony like players, young guys, Bryce Terangs, that in 3 or 4 years they want to be a part of this because they know how close they were, and they don't want to watch the USA come in second place for a third consecutive year.
That's right. They don't want to lose. I mean, there's one thing that motivates us in the U.S. is not winning, right? And the thing is, it's similar to, the USA basketball in '88 struggled, and I believe I could be wrong, but I think they lost an international competition. So that was one of the big impetus to get the pros in for the dream team. But Billy, you're right. I think the level of risk indicates your level of passion for it. And the reality is those type of things matter. Emotion and passion matters. And it means so much to a country you mentioned, like Venezuela. It meant so much to, the Dominican Republic. And you saw the passion there with those fan bases. When it means more to that, you're going to take more risks to try and win the thing. And I think that's the point you're making. And I think it's totally correct and apt that we're getting to a point where it's like, all right, well, we should start to match that if we haven't already, because we have to raise our level as a team to try and win that thing. I know Mike Witt coming in with the joke already. Typical Aaron Judge 0 for 4 last night, overrated. The reality is you got to come up big in those moments, and the USA wasn't able to. But, man, I kind of had that feeling watching, and this is not a knock on some of our American players, and we joke about Terang with this personality being even keel. You don't see the exuberance you do, the passion from the fans and the players in some of these Latin countries, and I believe it matters a little bit when they care so much, and I believe the emotion they put into it. It was a lot like, and we've had this issue with international competitions. It's a lot like the Eurobasket, the FIBA thing with Greece and Giannis, and so many Bucks fans and American fans couldn't understand why it mattered so much. And it clearly mattered a lot to him and to them, and it clearly matters a lot to play for the country. Those guys play so hard there. So you just gotta have a great team. You gotta play great baseball, and obviously in knockout stages, things have to go your way. But you have to match that level of passion, intensity, and energy a little bit. And I think that might be the last thing that lacks, because there's no question the talent's there on the field. Also, come on. Can we get a little help from the Cubs a little bit? I feel like they blew it again. You know, they called Palencia. They called to try and make sure they wouldn't use Palencia, and they lost a negotiation apparently with Venezuela, and they got to use him.
Roman Anthony to ice it, and that would have been, Roman Anthony going deep there would have been majestic.
Would have been amazing.
Game extending.
So if he wasn't pitching, maybe if the Cubs won the debate and won the negotiation, we would have been winners today. So way to blow it, Chicago. Come on,
Salvador Perez, who started in place of William Contreras, 35. He ends up scoring the first run of the game.
Borderline Hall of Famer.
He said, quote, "The World Series, as everyone knows, is the most important championship that the major league has. But when you play for your country, it's a little bit beyond that. That feeling, the country where you were born and raised, the sacrifices your parents make, the people who helped you, that's why this means a lot to me and to Venezuela."
Yeah,
you see the scenes in Venezuela?
Oh, my God. Well, I also saw some of the scenes in the concourse, and I did see some of the people saying, well, you know what? I'm kind of glad Venezuela won. Good shots. Good looks. Now, there were times when, Drew, I heard the interview, I think it was with Rosenthal or with Tom Bertucci that he did before the game, and I almost just felt bad for him, and it was one of those times where I'm like, maybe I totally get why we're asking the question, but it's also kind of feeling messed up that we got to ask the guy, hey, by the way, this team changed your life, your entire family's life, and your entire future family's lives with giving you and paying you nearly $100 million and transporting you to America. Hey, by the way, how about you trash that fan base or the home country that raised you and tell you which one's more important?
Yeah.
It's a tough question to ask. Or I'm also standing around 25 guys that also are representing Venezuela, and we're trying to win tonight's game. This might be more important than the theoretical game I could be playing, but it's a good question to have to ask in the moment of how important and impactful is it? And I'm not going as far as certain former important talk show hosts I saw in certain big markets saying I was pulling for Venezuela to win because it just means more to their country. But it was a nice consolation prize in those moments to see how cool that was.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when you hear so much about the 1980 Olympic hockey team and when they stunned the USSR, and how many times, Drew, we heard the how the USSR was just kind of watching them celebrate, kind of almost jealous because we haven't had this feeling. We weren't able to play for this type of feeling of this emotion. Obviously, it's not the same. I mean, our guys cared too, and our guys play for the emotion, the enjoyment too. But it's sort of that same thing. Like, you wanted your own team to win. We were all cheering for Team USA. I was cheering for Team USA, but you were you had a glint in your heart a little bit to see how happy they were to win it. So,
and the backdrop of the 1980 Miracle on Ice was, the recession, gas lines, hostage situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look what's happening in Venezuela, the turmoil that they're going through. And then Omar Lopez said, this maybe was an example to show everyone that we're not bad people and we're fighting to have a united Venezuela again, a Venezuela that's peaceful, a Venezuela that can grow in all parts of the world. The same things that they say about us, those countries have the same problems, but they look at us as we're bad people. That was more for me to demonstrate that this team working together, we can unite 30 million people. And they did.
Yeah, 100%.
At least for a few moments.
Well, and first off, the dance, the pregame drum in the dugout, like you could tell the energy of that group was ridiculously connected. It was the one that the USA team was, I mean, I want to say fully trying to manufacture connectivity, but it kind of felt a little manufactured, right? Like you could see genuine love for the situation and excitement. And the other one was kind of like Armen said earlier, the fear of not losing almost seemed like it was more intense in the USA dugout than the excitement and potential of winning.
Yeah, which I get. Like as American sports stars, prodigies, they all come up this way with like, you know, the pressure to win is so hard. It's so high that you get that, you lose that a little bit. You lose that joy in a little bit because you're right, Billy. It's like we're playing to get relief of not losing, not the joy of winning, right?
I also, I don't know about you guys. Damn, Aaron Judge. Damn, Aaron Judge.
Damn, Aaron Judge.
I mean, could you get another big moment where the biggest guy in the sport could come up smaller? 0-for-4 with 3 Ks and the 3-1.
I know.
The 3-1 meatball right down the heart of the plate.
Missed it.
It was didn't even swing at it.
I know.
I was sitting there waiting for it. Like, I mean, it was, that's a,
what are you looking for, Aaron? Like, you know,
that pitch. I thought we were waiting. I thought we were looking for that pitch
that
in particular. Weird. Yeah. You're looking for a walk, and Drew and Captain America is looking for a free pass. That shows how the bats were pretty much for the last three days. But tough when you're Aaron Judge and you're thinking, all right, sweet. Out of New York for the couple of minutes. I'll get my moment. Everybody will think I'm a big game performer, and 0-for-4 with 3 Ks and unable to follow up the biggest swing of the tournament by Bryce Harper. Yeah. Tough moments for Aaron Judge. I feel for him.
It stinks because he's so likable. To me, at least, he's so likable. Like, I want him to come through in those moments. I want him to be able to fulfill those kind of ghosts that are always kind of like, you know, surrounding him, that like, okay, clutch, this and that. But he had a chance again and just couldn't get it done. And that, like, heavy is the head that wears the crown. He's the best player. He's the captain. He's all those things. You got to be that guy. And he just, yeah. I mean, it wasn't to be last. That stinks. You want to see him come through there, and he just couldn't do it. So
Mike Witt on the YouTube chat, Drew, saying, typical Aaron Judge 0-for-4 last night, overrated.
Overrated. Well,
I don't know that
amazing player.
I mean, a small sample.
Yeah,
overrated. Okay.
All of his playoffs are the big question, but like, he is just statistically and visually one of the best right-handed hitters I've ever seen.
Oh, easily,
absolutely.
But
he's like incredible.
But really, it is remarkable to see the lack of the biggest moment and biggest success for him. And it seems like it's one thing that's going to haunt him for a while.
And he's thinking about it, in my opinion, clearly. So.
Team USA struggled offensively
big time
in the last couple of games after the early. I mean, they started struggling and they couldn't hit Lorenzen in Italy.
Yeah, right. What was it? 6 runs in the final 2 innings in that game. They were down 8-0 at one.
Yeah, they were down 8-0 in that game, and then kind of snuck by Canada, snuck by the Dominican. Like, it wasn't this dominant. They started out as a wagon the first couple.
Yeah,
and then it just became it's #baseball though.
Well, that's it.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it goes. Like, any team on any given day, and this was it the greatest lineup ever assembled? Well, it didn't look like it.
Sure, it looked
on
like
paper.
It
was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
but to the point though, during the summer when Churio and Contreras, they're suiting up for the Brewers, and there's a guy across the field from Venezuela. They feel that, right? They feel like, not that they're rooting for that guy, or if that guy gets a hit against them, like, not that they don't want to win that game, but they feel that. Whereas, you know, Bryce Terang and Bryce Harper share a name, share a nationality, but when they're on the field, is there that brotherhood? Right?
That's the question, man.
I don't think you can manufacture that. Now, Mark DeRosa said, among many things that he said during this fortnight, he said, for some reason, this WBC has become a tidal wave of emotion for a lot of guys.
For some reason? Like,
for some reason.
That's the line that got me when I read that article.
He said, you get them in the room representing their country, coming together for 2.5 weeks, the buy-in, it's infectious in there. Okay, yeah, for some reason. Well, playing for your country. For some reason,
big, yeah.
It's like it's not a. It's like,
I don't know why we're surprised.
Why are we questioning it? And nobody's questioning whether the Dominican team wants to win for the Dominican or Venezuela wants to win for Venezuela.
Right.
We're such a big, sprawling, dominant country that we're not in the position of being underdogs, and
Well, exactly. And this is a question too that's somewhat cultural and goes deeper and deeper beyond like sports, right? It's like, they share the ethnicity and those things like that, and America's a melting pot, so it's a little different. But that did strike me when I read that for some reason.
For some reason.
We'll see. I mean, like you guys mentioned, we even needed help to get to the stage, and things weren't.
He can't come back, right?
No.
There's got to be a new manager for Team USA than Mark
come on,
DeRosa, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. Even Japan's manager stepped down. And it's not like they're playing tomorrow either. Like after time's going to pass, so you're going to have in the new cycle. You're going to have a new. This happens a lot in international competition. Anyway.
Well, because they finished second place last time, and he gets the nod again. And I was listening to some guys in some reaction last night. They're like, well, he should probably be back if he wants to be back, but the only way he wouldn't is if the players don't want him back. I don't necessarily know. Like, I think it's pretty easy. And it's maybe the least forgiving job in all of sports. Team USA's coach. Like the thankless job in the world. You better win or your ass is grass.
If you win, you were supposed to. It's our national pastime. If you lose, it's a federal investigation.
That's what it is.
They're awful. It's incredible. We got to scout in these Calshies. Are we sure? Are we sure that DeRosa wasn't in the pocket of Hard Rock?
Nathan Sass on YouTube, knowing D-Row, I didn't know that was like his nickname. He was being sarcastic with that line. Maybe he was. I read it in print, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah,
but I'm not really sure.
Man.
He also said replace the All-Star game with the semis and the finals of the WBC, please. I don't know. You could do that. I like this. I kind of like where it's at.
Momentum and I like it. It's been, why mess with it? It's really good.
The only thing I want breaking up the season would be the Olympics, because it's the only thing that you have to change, right? Like it was the only thing that you have to move the schedule around, and you could do one every 4 years. But I just think this one's different. You have kind of tapped into something, Drew, that also in the sports calendar you could absolutely own July. But,
no doubt.
But it's easier to own right now in March, where a lot more people want to be on their couch instead of in those July nights.
Great kickoff for the season. We'll continue to talk about it. Huge success. Love the World Baseball Classic. It's, you can call it schlocky if you want, but clearly it was good theater. It was as loud as you're going to hear a stadium. And since it's Hot Take Hump Day, we're going to take them all day at 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Hot Take. As great as this country is and as many great venues as we have, Miami always has to host the semis and the finals of the World Baseball Classic, because that's the place.
Well, and Drew, I was
talking about the melting pot. There was mostly Venezuelan fans there last night.
Mostly was
spectacular.
And maybe we have to have the World Baseball Classic every year so you can actually use every seat in that stadium. Ooh. First time, I think maybe they've sold that place out. Like, it was incredible to see that place lit up.
They were opening up concession stands on the upper deck. Like the cobwebs were taken out. We never use these registers, guys.
Hey, does this fryer work? I don't know. I haven't used it since it was installed.
I mean, they all are brand new since they were installed, and they've never been used.
Pretty incredible. But that's
checking expiration dates on
be
M&Ms.
A debate. Miami should always host it. It's fantastic.
I'm with you. I think it's a great place for it. Yeah.
I thought Tokyo was going to get house rules, but then they lost in the semis. So y'all get your new manager and get your ass over here to Miami.
Maybe this is better for a hot take, but is this more disappointing for Japan or U.S.? Because this Japan feels they should win this thing every year too,
That's true.
Yeah,
we're off and running. The Wednesday edition. This is the Get Over the Hump. It truly is Hump Day, because we got to get over the hump. Watch the game late last night. This is you got energy on Monday and Tuesday. This is where we're dragging through. But you're giving us energy on the other side, and we appreciate it. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
describe what this means for your country?
I mean, what can I say about this? It's amazing. God is good. All the glory is for Lord Jesus. He was with us the whole time. We have to glorify, put his name in front of everything. And nobody believed in Venezuela, but now we win the championship today. And it's a celebration for all the Venezuelan country.
World Baseball Classic, bringing out the emotions.
That's awesome.
Eugenio Suarez last evening?
Better believe it. Yeah, Gino Suarez. Mean Gene, as I heard he used to be called, which really got me excited.
He did not.
Pretty good.
He did not win the MVP, though he could have.
You could have probably given that MVP to like 3 or 4 guys, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't going to give it to Miguel Garcia, but he probably deserved it.
Probably,
yeah, probably deserved it, no doubt about it.
Him,
Dude,
Suarez.
Palencia was phenomenal in that game. I mean, phenomenal. And Acuna,
Jed Hoyer, yeah, could give it to Jed Hoyer. Sorry, I can't help myself.
Now, do you think it was Ricketts that got on the phone and said, "Hey, Jed, I don't want to see him pitching again here tonight"? And then Jed Hoyer's like, "Boss, I'll take care of it." Calls him, say, "Hey, fellas, no more Palencia." They say, "Hey, suck it. He's going to play. He's pitching if we're in a safe situation. We're trying to win the WBC." He goes, okay, cool.
Okay, sounds good. You
Boss, I called them. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Like when they snuck that into the broadcast and the Cubs called and said no more Palencia. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, I want to know, was it Ricketts? Was it Jed Hoyer who's doing the negotiation that immediately folded? Like you can't have a guy negotiating in there that's going to be convinced by a good argument. Like you can't have an Armen Sargent in there. You can't. Whoever comes at him and they're rolling up to get Armen in there to negotiate is a bad idea. So thanks for nothing, Cubs. We could have been facing somebody else besides Palencia last night. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. But MVP wise, Palencia could have been a guy that you throw in there.
No, so, Acuna was phenomenal through the run too.
Second straight time U.S. loses the championship game 3-2. Last time was with Ohtani striking out Trout, and we're all like, "This is unbelievable. This is great.
Yes,
inject this into my veins." Well, this one was almost as good.
Almost as good. Almost as good. And in the 8th inning, you get the blast and the great call from Joe Davis. Better late than never. Bryce Harper ties in the 8th. And you're thinking, all right, Captain America, it's time for the moment. It's time for a ruling from the judge. And instead, John Sterling unable to deliver it. Unable to, but this was how it first sounded to be able to cap it off and give us to an even game.
Sends a fly ball to deep center field. Better late than never. Bryce Harper has tied the championship.
I also like how I use the word championship. Like, you don't get that often in baseball unless it's a game 7. Like the fact, okay, this is the championship game. This is the championship. It's pretty cool.
And I can't say this with 100% certainty, but I don't think Fox was juicing the crowd noise. I think it was just that loud.
Dude,
Totally agree.
It was, and that added to the whole, you can just tell. We talked about how it's different than a Super Bowl because there aren't any real neutral fans here. It was like mostly a Venezuelan crowd, which is great.
Yeah.
And it shows you that the ticket prices weren't, like you said, it's not 4 or 5 figures to get into the door.
No, I mean, I think probably the best tickets you were paying for were probably $1,000 or $1,500. That's fair, but you can also get in for a couple hundred, and you can tell like it was accessible for people. And Drew, I thought the moment I realized how split the crowd was going to be, or how in favor of Venezuela it was going to be, was when they did the sweet WWE style entrance from the far corners and walked right down the baselines. And you could hear people trying to get the USA chant going, and it was getting drowned out by the Venezuelans. That was a party.
And if I don't know that they needed it or that it's going to be part of the CBA or something, but now it's like the momentum for having MLB players play in the Olympics is off the charts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like, even Judge said that. He said, Aaron Judge said, quote, "I'm always fired up for the Yankees, but I'm still pissed about this. So I'm looking forward to the next time we get to throw on the red, white, and blue and take care of business." And Bryce Harper, they're like, "Do you want to play in the Olympics?" Hell yeah. Yeah, they want to play. Hope it happens. So Olympics will be happening in LA. They can play at Dodger Stadium. And given this little runway that they got, who was going to say no? Who's going to say no? Like, we just saw the hockey thing, and we just saw, it'd be in the middle of the season, it'd be a little different. As long as we don't lose the World Baseball Classic the way we've enjoyed it the last 6 editions.
Yep.
let's keep it going.
The only reason why I'm not also worried about, and I shouldn't say only reason, one of the other reasons why I'm not as worried that you'll lose the WBC is because I do think there's a little vested interest in Major League Baseball in it, right? Like I think they might get a little bit of the kick. So I don't think they're going to try to punt on any of that cash.
All the insurance implications and all that. That's part of this.
Yep. But Drew, I do wonder, and Rob Manfred took a lot of arrows. I was one of those lining up the crossbow, firing quite a few of them when he's calling it a hunk of metal that they're playing
Search
for.
my Twitter account. I mean, I've been ripping on him for the longest time. You're right, Billy. He's been in my crosshairs.
But in the last 3 years, is there somebody that has done more for the longevity of his sport than Rob Manfred?
Especially pitch clock, I'd say.
I mean, like the pitch clock, the rule changes that they had right there. Like this to me feels like a no-brainer, and that's why I give him some of that credit, Drew. Like I think right now Manfred is feeling the right movement and the right vibes of the league, and understanding that whether or not they go in or out on 2027, whether they play or not, whether they have a situation like the WNBA last night. Hey, WNBA, congratulations.
Looks like they've got an agreement.
They got an agreement. They got a CBA. I'm excited to see if they're flying private. But like you see the league going up and to the right, and the only way you could continue to catapult that up and get more and more momentum, and you slap USA on the chest, you're going to get a lot of casual viewers, and that Olympic time feels like it's too ripe for them to pass on the opportunity to have big leaguers in it.
Absolutely. Just the momentum now, it seems like it's just inevitable.
It's so good.
Let's figure it out. And whatever it takes, let's figure it out. And we'll shut the game down in mid-season, have a longer all-star break, try to squeeze it into 10 days if you can. Let's go.
Figure it out. And Drew, you mentioned you play Dodger Stadium. You also have another one right there in Anaheim. You could play it up and down the coast of California.
Sure.
You throw Petco Park in there.
Yeah.
You got plenty of spots. And also, you don't necessarily have to have it right during the same, 11-day run of the Olympics. Don't they have certain events that are played throughout kind of the lead up to? There's not always
preliminaries,
right? There's preliminaries and things like
that.
Then set it up there. You got the Final Four in that weekend or whatever. Like you can change it up and make it easy.
I agree. When was the surfing? I mean, the surfing took place the month of at a different island. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what I was thinking, because there was surfing going on like a month and a half before the Olympics. I'm like, wait, what are we talking about here?
Because in prelims, and we just got done with the Winter Olympics where they're still curling. I don't know who they were playing curling in the middle of the night. I felt like so they had so many curling matches going on. So you're right, the prelims could be before. I'm sure there's a way they could do it if it matters enough to everybody. You could get it done. So you're right there, Billy squinting. I see.
Man, I forgot my contacts today. I'm just flying blind over here. It's tough.
Goodness. Meanwhile, in other news, we had we started in Dayton yesterday, and we had two really good games.
We did.
Yes,
we did.
Me to Dayton.
Yeah,
Texas,
take me to Dayton. Texas with the game winner. Yeah.
Texas, North Carolina State, Texas with the late game winner. And then Howard outlasted Maryland, Baltimore County.
Congrats all the great Howard alums. Trey Crosby, one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And Howard finally won an NCAA tournament game. I think this was like something they hadn't done, or this was something
first one ever. Yeah.
So it's a big moment. I always said if you're a 16 seed, you kind of want the play in because it gives you a chance for a moment in the tournament. Because otherwise, unless you're like the Fairleigh Dickinson UMBC, unique once in a lifetime outlier, you're not getting that moment. So kind of cool to see the NCAA tournament start off with a bang with two close ones and the game winner for Texas over NC State. So they are moving on, and we have two more tonight. And the one I think a lot of people, this is probably going to be the most watched Dayton round play-in ever. Unless I'm wrong, but I would think it's going to be has the most attention with Miami, Ohio playing tonight as they take on SMU, and everyone waiting to see if Miami, Ohio can fulfill their record that they've had this year. So
the SMU kid going to play?
Good question. I don't really know. I'm looking for some updates on that. I'll be looking during the break, but he's got they got some, they have, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
Edwards, right?
Edwards,
like they were pretty non-committal, and I did like how Butch is like, they put it out there. Oh, totally. He's gonna be able to go. BJ Edwards, totally gonna be able to play. We'll see if number 0's out there tonight, or if that was some good lip service if they're their senior guard. No, we'll see. I'm interested in it. I didn't see as much of the playing games I probably should have last night, but that's because the damn Milwaukee Bucks decided, Drew, that they were going to be entertaining last night without Giannis.
Yeah, I know, right?
How would that happen?
How dare you guys play a competitive game against the Cavaliers and within 7?
Something with the Cavs.
And they covered the spread. It's amazing.
Covered the number. They were up at the end of the third.
Giannis.
I'm watching a couple of Cleveland radio hosts on Twitter just melting down because they're losing to the Bucks. I took a little satisfaction in that. That was fun.
Yeah, that's another, that's a franchise and a fan base that thinks they should have been better by now, Cleveland, or at least contending for championships. They got Harden, so we'll see what happens in the playoffs, obviously. But
all right,
it was nice to see them interesting last night. Yeah.
Since it is and remains Hot Take Hump Day, we usually wait till 6 o'clock to fire up the feature. Let's get it going. 877-794-1973. Yeah, we got all kinds of guests.
Loaded up.
Mike McGivern, big time's coming in to talk to high school tournament.
Let's go.
We'll have
El Jefe gonna be in here.
Little Jon Greenberg action.
Loaded up with green pancakes. We get Dolph back in this place.
Man,
Dolph will be back. We'll find out about his exploits on St. Patty's Day. I was too lazy to go out on St. Patty's Day, but hey,
I was in the same boat. However, I heard them on the way home and they were having some fun.
Yeah.
They were having a lot of fun. They were having more fun than humans ought to have, from what I heard.
Yes. So hot take number 1 for me is Miami has always got to host the World Baseball Classic. Just make that an edict because it's just such a good, such a good venue for it.
I liked it better than Petco Park. I'll tell you that much. Like, in no disrespect to San Diego, but it does feel better. I love the aesthetics of Dodger Stadium. However, I don't love the aesthetics of, like half the fans getting there in the third inning. So keep it in Miami and keep the party rolling.
All right. Other hot take is that when we're looking at we have the NCAA, it's the perfect melting pot. You can make a case that this is a great time of overlap in the sporting calendar.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
This is this is our payoff for those couple of weeks after the Super Bowl when things are looking pretty dry. We got some momentum, and then we'll settle into the summertime and all of that, right? We'll have it. But my hot take regarding the Bucks is, though it makes sense, and he's going to take like a week to figure out this ankle thing, and I know the drums are beating. Why play Giannis? Put him in bubble wrap. I've said that myself. I said it weeks ago. But selfishly, if he's going to be traded, we need as many opportunities to see Giannis play for the Bucks as we can, and we need to savor them just to put those in the bank in case,
just a little bit more,
in case it is the end.
Yeah.
So I'm again hypocritical, and it's probably a bad business decision, but I want Giannis to play and finish out the season.
Drew, I got March 20th still circled. I still have that Saturday 2 p.m. tilt. They host San Antonio, and I still want to see him playing Wemby at home.
Wemby? Oh, okay. I was going to say, you want to see him. We got to see him as much as we can, just in case.
There's back-to-back noon, 2 o'clock on that Saturday. Sunday, they take on the LA Clippers. So he could play in one of the two. Dallas a couple of nights later. And then there's a pair of home games against Boston and Memphis. And that's what you're counting. You really are counting down the dates. And I'm right there with you, especially because a delayed kick in the balls to me for banking and planning on going to the game this past Sunday, then not going in fear and trepidation of the snowstorm that at that point was a rainstorm. And then for what you just mentioned, very much could be the last game they played. I don't know, because I'm not still totally positive he's getting traded in the offseason.
I'm not either.
Me either, but it's a chance.
Possibility.
But it's a growing possibility, and maybe makes a little bit more sense as you continue to watch this team play game in and game out without him.
All right, I got one quick hot take before we get to the break. It really has nothing to do with any specific team, but sometimes you have a thought in the middle of a dream, and then that dream is like half consciousness because you're waking up. That's kind of what I had this morning, and then I thought about it. Okay, so every other major sport in the U.S., like I think of the 4 majors. All right, so my apologies to soccer. It's still not there yet. Okay, we accept the truth that every ball or puck that goes into the stands is property of the fans, except for basketball. You ever think about that? Why is that? You guys weren't thinking about that today?
Well, football, they go and get it.
Yeah, not always. If it goes high enough in the stands, they're not always getting it unless it's like, really?
Oh,
like,
they're hunting you down now. I mean, unless my man
throws it.
Celebratory throws it into the crowd, yeets it in there in a touchdown.
It doesn't happen a lot, I should say.
Yeah, but like if you're throwing the ball out of bounds, throwing it away, sideline guy is going to go and get that rock. Okay. We might get you a different pill, but we're going to get that rock.
How about some Tom Brady discussion too? Because everybody talks about how the balls are overinflated in the NCAA.
That's happening again. They were dropping it again. Talk about
where's Tom Brady when you need him?
Yeah.
All right, 877-794-1973.
CBS maybe.
Hot Take Hump Day. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Let me play NC State. Yeah.
The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Appreciate all of our streamers, especially those people who comment on the YouTube stream like that.
We got a lot of good ones here. We got a lot of hot takes from our guy, Mike Witt, talking about Mother Nature and different blizzards and how it's going to be like 64, 70 degrees potentially this weekend coming up. And then he also had this one, Drew, which I really, really like on Hot Take, Hump Day. Hot Take. Wisconsin will go to the Final Four in a run that starts tomorrow. Greg Gard will finally get recognized as one of the top 10 coaches in the country from our friend Mike Witt.
I think it depends on who's doing the recognizing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I think a lot of coaches. He's top 10. In the coaching fraternity, they already would say he's there, but that they see things differently than we do.
I think the basketball community, the coaching community, sees Greg Gard as a really good coach. I think the most criticism comes from his own fan base sometimes, to be quite honest with you. I think most people recognize how great of a job he's done at Wisconsin, especially in the changing eras. He's adjusting with the times, changing the team while keeping the culture, changing the style. It's been very, very impressive. All it's going to take for him is a couple more shots to go their way, in March for his kind of legend to be crystallized a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. Having him, on the stage, does he need the validation? Well, it sure would be nice. Playing in the Sweet 16 would be nice.
People look at it that way, and they haven't been there for 9 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
In fact, yesterday was
since the Florida shot. Huh?
That's hard to believe.
Yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Bronson Koenig's game winner.
I can't believe it's been 10 years. I feel like I was sitting right here producing
crazy.
that game the other day. Just yesterday when Matt LePage dropped that highlight on us.
That was epic.
Yeah,
absolutely
amazing.
So that was 10 years ago, and I was just listening with Billy as we were in commercial break to a rant by Al McGuire on this.
That was awesome.
In 1977, after Marquette beat Kansas State in controversy,
and he said someone in back rooms are telling these refs to give it. Do you have the audio of that?
Oh yeah, it's on the X machine.
I'm gonna find it
later.
That was one of his greatest rants, and that was one of his last games. Obviously, he's like, that's why I'm getting out of here, because someone's telling these refs to give me technicals, and this is nonsense. He goes, I'll find it.
Yeah,
I love my old Al McGuire.
I'm amazed you don't have it just sitting here waiting. You look up Al McGuire on X, and listen, the top comes up with not one, not two, not three, 4, 5, 6 consecutive tweets by Armen Sarian.
Well, he's one. I mean, obviously, I wasn't alive for his coaching, but he was one of my favorite figures of my
February
favorite teams.
11th, 2025. Former Marquette basketball coaches that later were on broadcast of the Marquette game. Al McGuire, Rick Majerus, Kevin O'Neill, and now Tom Crean. Not missing any as far as I know. March 13th, 2023. 53 years ago, Al McGuire turned down an NCAA tournament bid to accept an NIT bid. Wow, things changed. November 1st, 2024, with just a video of some Open from the 1980s with Bob Costas retiring. Here's Al McGuire and Billy Packard on an NBC game in the 80s.
Yeah, well, I did tweet a lot of his content. That's a good point.
October 28th, 2023. At some point, yes, I'm just trying to consume as much Al McGuire content as possible.
Well, you're right, Drew. He's one of a kind, right? Drew,
this is amazing.
I sent it to your XDM.
It's a good run.
March 17th, 2023. I was always proud to be Irish. I think I brought a comfortableness and a sense of humor to the United States. Al McGuire, happy St. Patrick's Day. So you just tweet out Al McGuire quotes on St. Patrick's Day, which I appreciate. I love that. Oh my God, my man he's all over this thing.
Yeah.
As much as Drew, you would have thought Marquette Overload would be the one to still bring up Al McGuire's name. Luckily, Armen Sarian's not going to forget any of it.
Next year we're on an anniversary again, right? Because they won in 77.
That's right. We'll be on the next
50-year anniversary.
Too far, a big one. Yeah,
I got it.
Big
here,
round number anniversary, which we love in sports.
You got it. Go ahead, Billy. Take it.
I coach exactly the same no matter where the hell I am, and every time I come to the NCAA, they end up calling technicals on me. Now, it's absolutely wrong.
Okay, stop. Do we know that he doesn't swear in this? Just going to say.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Pretty sure he doesn't.
Because he says, I'm a bum and a bower. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Yeah.
But if he does, I'm ready with the delay.
All right. Let it ride.
All right, just saying.
And I'm not a crybaby. I kept quiet for the last 10 years. Now, either they're taking these officials and brainwashing them before they have my games. This has nothing to do with Kansas State. Kansas State should have beaten us. We were fortunate to win. We were lucky. That's all. Kansas State outplayed us. They were better prepared than we were, and they should have won the game. Now, if the NCAA wants equal time or officials, I'm 25 years in the business, guys. I've never said a word against officials in 25 years. And I got to go through that crap again?
It's epic. Of course, he said a lot of things
well
about
done.
officials.
Yeah.
That was the best. He's never said anything about officials.
Now I was just waiting for John Chaney to walk in here. 3 class guys.
Class guys.
Pivotal moment in
You
that
did a good
tournament was
job.
them beating Kansas State in that run.
Yeah,
That was
they had
the
to come
turning
back and
point.
win. Yeah. That was the fight at halftime, I think, when him and Bernard Toon got in a fight.
Probably.
Man, those days were wild, I'm sure.
No doubt. He was very much like Billy Martin. And, that sounded like a mob boss.
Totally did. Totally did.
10 years. Like he's
10
been,
years.
It sounded like some kind of like a mob boss type thing. Epic. 877-794-1973 gets you in to the NicolaLaw.com talking text line on this hot take hump day. Everything back open today. Everything school's back.
I think we're rip
back
roaring,
at it.
ready to roll. We're a week away from opening day. And Drew, it's not a hot take. It's just a sad reality of it. The Brewers just released more opening day tickets. Opening day, I don't believe is going to get back to what it was.
Man,
I've
a hot take.
said it for years.
It's just,
These
it's
kids,
not
man,
going to
not
be
their thing.
what it was. However, we're going to have a damn good time coming up next week, Thursday. A damn good time next week, Thursday, to kick this thing off.
Yep. The Shamrock Shuffle is taking precedence with the young people. That's their right of spring.
I just want you to know I totally stole your St. Practice Day, by the way. That's one of my favorite lines that you've ever dropped about the Shamrock
Practice
Shuffle.
Day. That's for sure. Absolutely. All right, we are off and running. Dolph's going to join us at 6:30. Mike McGivern at 7 o'clock. Mr. Big Time himself, Mr. High School Hoops will get ready for the boys tournament. Girls tournament was a great run. Boys tournament this weekend.
See if it can be as good.
They got a tough act to follow. No question about it. So does baseball. Tough act to follow after that World Baseball Classic was so captivating. It's so exciting. Even watching Venezuela, Italy. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the board y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
The Wednesday edition, the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the world on the iHeart app, YouTube, Facebook, X, on the stream. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Hot Take Hump Days here, 877-794-1973. Gets you in. Have we a lot of corned beef leftovers out there today? Corned beef and cabbage leftovers?
Yeah, a little shepherd.
Anchoring for a Reuben today or no?
No, a little shepherd's pie leftover will be it.
Nice.
And that'll be it.
It's hard to make. Did you ever try? You didn't make one, did you?
Absolutely.
No, I was gonna say okay because you for a
Bought it
second
himself at Costco.
because you're layering up things and you're baking things and stuff like that.
Costco makes
make
way too good of a shepherd's pie for
Costco, yeah.
anybody to try to make it alone.
I agree with you. I'm totally with you on that. Yeah.
The only thing that I could potentially ask, I don't know if this is going to be super against the Irish tradition. I just don't like mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms in legitimately anything.
That's fair.
Other than the special kind, and those ones still don't taste good.
You
so
don't like those either.
I'd like well. No.
I mean, you imbibe it.
But there's just a spot where you sit there and say, we could probably get the mushrooms out of here and just put more ground beef. But I'm gonna be a fan of it. Drew, what about you? Any green beer, stale green beer left in the house?
Nothing. No. The St. Patrick's Day went by at our house and it was just Tuesday.
Yeah, classic. That was exactly how it had to
I
be.
wore
yesterday.
a green Bucks hoodie yesterday.
That was it.
But that was it. That was the extent of my celebration. I felt like going out because we're off at 8 a.m.
Yep.
Felt like I could go out and I was supposed to meet some folks over at Left's Lucky Town, 72nd State Street. I'm sure it was a great party. I just couldn't get motivated.
Similar situation. I can't say I imbibed in any sort of like Irish fare yesterday. I did have some fried chicken, but that's not Irish.
Chicken,
Almost
that's
Irish,
not Irish.
Yeah, but come on, I'm sure someone in Ireland has eaten chicken at some point.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm taking that one right there.
Listen,
So,
any good day is a good day to have fried chicken. Now, the one that I did forget, and I was brought to my attention yesterday, mostly because of TikTok. I forgot about the little leprechaun catch that some people do on St. Patrick's Day, and apparently people were in full force on trying to catch the leprechauns yesterday. With the little shoebox, you keep the pencil up,
building traps and stuff
build
like
a
that.
leprechaun trap.
Did you catch any?
No, I totally forgot to put it out.
Yeah,
Totally forgot to put it out. We would have caught it. We would have had a pot of gold. Probably wouldn't have been talking to me today. Because if I would have found that pot of gold from the leprechaun, fellas, I'd love doing this radio show, but I get that pot of gold out of here. So sadly, that one didn't work out, nor did the pot of gold Lucky Charm little scratchers that we got yesterday.
I was going to say,
I thought the scratch ticket, feeling lucky, was going to be the winner. Instead, no dice. So we're here today. I love you guys, but I was kind of hoping to take it.
Yeah,
Speaking of Lucky Charms, is that the bait you use for the leprechaun traps? Like, what's the bait? You know, like I would think Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious. I mean,
yeah,
right?
but I think that's almost insulting, right? He's like,
I see.
I'm good on all those.
I
created these.
It's like asking a guy that's from Australia if he drinks Foster's. Is that the same idea?
Correct. Yeah, I don't think that's what they like. I did see there was a custard shop in town that was celebrating St. Patrick's Day with Lucky Charms infused in the ice cream.
Now we're talking.
That's
right. No, yeah.
I don't know, man. That's going to be
a
stretch for me. You're in on that?
Hell yeah, I'm in for that. That sounds amazing. Lucky Charms, like custard or ice cream.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, like with the marshmallows all throughout the custard.
Do you like marshmallows?
Yeah, I'm 300 pounds.
Okay,
I'm like, for sure.
You
I'm
just
fat.
told me you didn't like mushrooms.
Yes, mushrooms,
I don't know. You told me you didn't like mushrooms. Mike Witt's
well,
hot take is the best.
One's literally
I get it.
condensed sugar.
I get that. Yeah, that's a good point. No, I mean, that sounds good for me. Yeah, Mike Witt, hot take. We'll do hot take. Mushrooms are the best pizza topping nobody talks about.
That's the worst take ever.
I mean, that's, first of all, who doesn't talk about mushrooms on pizza?
It's on every Supreme, so it's absolutely talked about.
Right.
And it's like the Milwaukee pizza order, sausage, mushroom, and onion.
That's the Milwaukee pizza. That's the one right there.
So you got to get that mushroom off of there.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but that's fine. You can have that take. You know, everyone's got
their hot takes.
Here's a hot take for you. I was thinking about this. All right, granola bars these days. What's the difference between that and a candy bar? I'm trying to eat like healthier, less sugar. Yeah. That's a candy bar, bro. You trying to act like, because you're in a different aisle, you're trying to act healthier because you got, peanut butter. No, that's a candy bar. I mean, enough of this stuff. Just put them in the candy aisle at this point, because it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm out there trying to be like, maybe I can find a healthy granola bar. The payday bar is healthier. And what's preventing the payday bar from making a comeback? I mean, that's all that is caramel and peanuts.
Disgusting.
I love the payday bar. Are you crazy? It's got a lot of protein. It's all peanuts. There's no chocolate. It's healthier than a granola bar. Make the payday bar great again.
Are you in on this one, Drew? You a payday
I do
guy?
like the payday, yeah.
Really?
I'm not a fan, Billy. It's chewy.
Really?
It's
I
delicious.
just can't tell you that I've ever thought I'm
like
grabbing
peanuts.
a payday bar.
That's the problem. No one's thinking about the payday bar.
That's true.
I think the payday bar needs to make a comeback. I think it's
All
a
right,
pretty
well,
good one. And
when was it ever there?
spinoff.
That's my question.
Probably in the 20s, probably in the 30s.
Armen's totally right. Those Nature Valley granola bars
get
are
outta
glorified candy bars. They're not healthy.
Listen,
you feel better.
I'm still eating them, but you're right. It just supposed to make you feel like you're doing something
But it is
healthy.
a candy bar.
Yeah.
But
Snickers.
The trend in food that has to go is slapping how many grams of protein everything has. Everybody thinks just gobble as much protein as we can. That's going to help.
Well, it's all trends,
People are all thinking like, I got to get as many grams of protein as I can, try to build muscle. Well, you want to build muscle, you also got to lift weights.
Maybe do some move around. Change around.
You want to lose weight and build muscle, you got to be in a calorie deficit too. Come on.
I did. I started eating just string cheese because somebody told me that there's grams of protein. And I'm like, oh, sweet, that sounds good to me.
Sure, there's protein in it. Yeah, it's like when everyone thought that fat was making you, like, if you had fat content.
Yeah, everything was fat free.
So fat free, like, remember Snackwell's, Drew?
Totally.
What a scam that was. Snackwell's cookies. These are good. It's just like, I don't know. It is pretty funny when I see gluten free on a jar of pickles. I'm like,
oh God, I remember these.
It's like, that's
these were
cucumbers and water.
awful.
What, the paydays?
Those Snackwells.
Oh, they're terrible.
Snackwells.
God,
diet cookies.
Bad.
Yeah,
Diet cookies.
Horrible.
Oh,
man. Give me a
man.
break, bro. Like, are you kidding me right now? You want to make a diet cookie? Then don't eat a cookie. Like, that's your diet cookie right there.
So now that St. Patrick's Day is over, does the Shamrock Shake just become like half price, or do we run through the month, or like what's the
shake
situation
machine's
on
broken?
First of all, the shake machine is broken.
So you don't have to worry about it.
No, I think it's through March. It's through
I think
March.
it's through March. Yeah.
Okay. But the Cop's Mint chip one is superior. Everyone knows that. But there's a little special extra like chemical fake sugar in that Shamrock Shake to make it good. I don't know what it is.
That's true.
Mike Witt says hot take they're overrated. No, they're not overrated. They're properly rated. Shamrock Shakes are the least healthy, most delicious shake. It's not real custard. It's not real. I get it.
Yeah,
okay?
And don't let your wife tell you that we're gonna make our own homemade Shamrock Shakes, and they're gonna be so much better.
With creme de menthe?
Yeah, just like the surprise mashed potatoes. Here's the surprise. They're not mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, you can tell me we've got candy at home. We have hamburgers at home. We have fries at home. But the one thing, Mom, you cannot tell me is that we have Shamrock Shakes at home. We don't have that. We don't have Shamrock Shakes at home. I want my Shamrock Shake with the cherry on top.
Give us your hot takes, 877-794-1973. The corned beef industry, that's their Super Bowl yesterday.
Yes.
Big corned beef had a big day.
Big corn
And people that eat that one time a year.
Yeah,
if it's so great, like it's what people say about turkey and Thanksgiving. If it's so great, why aren't we roasting turkeys like on a random Tuesday in February?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And why are we eating turkey eggs? You ever think about that? I was thinking about that yesterday in the grocery store.
Well, and that's the thing, Drew. Like I'll have a turkey sandwich throughout the week, right? Like that'll be a lunch for me.
It's a staple. Like you got to have some turkey.
I'm all in on turkey.
It's too good. It's too good to not have in the fridge. Now the corned beef, you can miss me with it. I appreciate that it does have its day. But the only time that I ever saw corned beef and hash be eaten other than St. Patrick's Day was when my one roommate's mom dropped off like 4 cans of it. And he didn't realize that you heated it up, and he was eating it cold. I'm like,
come on.
I've honestly never touched corned beef and hash after watching him do that in college.
My man was eating it cold out of the can.
He's like, dude, it's good. I'm like, that's the grossest thing I've ever seen. It legitimately looks like you're eating dog food.
That's like the most like caveman college dude thing to do is like to open up the can of.
I don't have 5 minutes to heat this up. Microwave safe dish? You kidding me?
5 minutes in a bowl? Like what's next? Like he's biting into the can of Chef Boyardee trying to eat the raviolis.
That's ruthless efficiency, though.
Chef
I gotta say, just put the can right on the burner and heat the can up, and then put on an oven mitt and then eat it right out of the can.
Things like that.
You don't have to have any dishes to wash.
Too lazy to rinse the dish.
All you gotta do is make sure you pull the peel off, because that will ignite. That one will go up. Learn that from experience. Listen, you can try and work smarter, not harder. It's also like the time and place where you realize that you didn't necessarily have to preheat the oven for the pizza.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to help if you preheat the oven with the frozen pizza. But you sit there and I'm like, why am I waiting this 7.5 minutes?
Our buddy Chef Adam Pavlak always said, just put it in right away and let it get up to temperature and just fire that thing up and just keep an eye on it.
Okay, good.
He thinks the recommendations are just a ballpark. You just got to you have to watch your pizza.
He makes me feel better about a lot of things.
So much better.
When he says stuff like this, I feel like he's really he's a great chef, but he's also one of us.
Yeah, we're going to get him back in the rotation.
I can't wait for that.
We're adjusted to our early hours. He's still got to adjust. So Adam will join us. Adam Pavlak, Egg and Flour, and of many cooking shows on the television. So, yeah, he was just in the Dominican on his annual golf cooking trip. The craziness. Yeah, he goes out there for an event. It's, interesting cat.
And a golf and a fishing fishing trip. Or cooking, fishing, and golf. What on earth could you possibly have? Because you can catch, you can cook it, and then you can go out here and play 9 and then worry about it. Hey, fellas, what do we got here after the 9th hole? No, we're not grabbing a sandwich at the clubhouse.
No, we're cooking something nice up. I mean, you can do it all together. You can play the lake, the hole with the lakes with the fish popping out. You catch a fish and you grill it up right there on the shore. You can do it all at once. I like that. We have a hot take here from Tony in Oak Creek on the text line. That's an NCAA tournament hot take that I've kind of thought about in the past. I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts are. Hot take: playing games should only be for teams that aren't automatic qualifiers. All right, that's pretty interesting. So basically what Tony's saying is they should only be at large teams. So 16 seeds.
1,000%.
Yeah, but then aren't we getting more of the Howards in there in the first round, not in the play? Is that bad? I mean, maybe that's fine.
When you go to the NCAA tournament, you want to go to one of the sites. You want to go to a Thursday, Friday site. Because when does the NCAA tournament start?
Thursday.
It does not start today or yesterday. So if I'm one of the 16 seeds and it's going to be my only time that I've ever played in the NCAA tournament, I think it's ridiculous that you go to Dayton University, all due respect to the Flyers and their families. Mm-hmm. That's just not the NCAA tournament to me. I also think from just the economic standpoint and the television show standpoint, I don't need to watch UMBC. Even though UMBC Howard was a great game last night, I would prefer to watch more teams and more brands and more bubble squads that are going to be ones that I'd recognize.
In Dayton.
In Dayton on the Tuesday, Wednesday.
I kind of like that. I think there's a point to be made there that you've earned your slot. Whatever kind of underdog you are, you've earned your slot into the big tournament, and therefore you shouldn't have to play again to earn your way in. But I think the flip side of that probably is, we want to see the good teams in there, not the bad teams.
Yeah, so. That's true. 877-794-1973. NicoletLaw.com talking text on hot takes don't have to be about sports. We like them. But they can be about anything. Can be about movies, can be about food, can be about Armen's love of the Payday bar.
Well, Ron and Stallis has one on that.
What's the most underrated candy bar?
Ron and Stallis said hot take: salted nut rolls better than Payday. That's one I haven't had in a while. Billy
Pearson's.
Again, who is eating a salted nut roll?
Keeping Pearson's in business.
If you're friends if you like peanuts like I do,
It just sounds bad. Is that why, Billy? Because it sounds salted nut roll? Is that why it sounds bad?
No, because again, I like peanuts, no doubt about it. I'd prefer to just have dry roasted peanuts instead of the vanilla nougat in the middle. Like I do the cream filled in the nut roll is a tough one for me to get over.
All right, hot take hump day. Hot take hump day. In this day and age, we've become a bit numb to price increases and what stuff costs.
Oh yeah,
right?
No, that's for sure.
You're at the pump now. You're paying for gas.
Some of us pay attention.
The way that the food went up and spiked during COVID stuff and never really came down. Groceries, fast food. People talk about stadium food. You get sticker shock, right? And you kind of get numb to it after a while. You're just like, oh, what is it? It just happens. Yep. Like, you don't even God forbid you get. I know Armen's too cheap to do DoorDash, Uber Eats, or anything like that. But my God, that's expensive.
You got that right.
Yeah, flying up.
I'm the service. I'm the gig economy.
Last weekend we were in Kenosha, my wife's hometown. Went to her favorite deli. It rhymes with Tenuda's, famous deli down there. It's like the place. Every town has their old school
spot.
Italian deli. There's the Grappi Market in Bayview. There's the on
Shortino, all those places, Glorioso.
Glorioso on Brady.
Benji's on the east side, right?
Tenuda's is like the institution in Kenosha where presidents have gone.
In Madison, it's Ellie's Deli.
And they have all kinds of the stuff. Like, they do a really good job there with Italian foods and just cheeses, meats, salamis. But, they also have like this candy aisle. They do their own candy kind of stuff. And I like chocolate covered peanuts. They have double dip chocolate peanuts.
Delicious. That's a good one.
You can't beat that
delicious,
combo.
And that making me think of the Payday Bar. Made me think of that. But as they're in the fridge and we're unpacking, you don't pay attention. It's like, damn, this little bag of the double dip chocolate peanuts was $9.99.
Oh my gosh,
that's
a lot.
And it's like it's more than buying like the Econo pack, the big pack of M&Ms, the share size of M&Ms. But it's like, that's kind of out of whack. I'm thinking to myself, like, what if I told you 15, 20 years ago that you were going to pay $10?
Right. That is wild.
Like, that's when we were paying $10 for CDs or,
Yep.
Like $10 for a bag of chocolate peanuts.
Double dip chocolate peanuts. Double dip. And so they are
made with love. Made with love by a family.
I like the ones at
Kenosha.
Menards. I could get the ones at Menards.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not $10.
No, they're a lot cheaper than that. But I don't know how big the bag is either. You're talking about price per ounce and all that.
Well, and have you gone, anytime you go now, it's like, I'm just going to buy a sandwich, a little meal combo at Chick-fil-A, $17.95.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Well, and I haven't, I've been in the coffee and water and occasional Gatorade drink for quite some time. But my wife is big on the one of these new soda brand, one of these, again, healthy sodas. There's no such thing.
Poppy
or whatever. Yeah.
So I walk down the soda aisle, and obviously that one's going to be a little expensive, right? We grab whatever those 4-packs are. Damn, I'm looking at a 2-liter of Coca-Cola, and that son gun's like $2.79.
That sounds crazy. I mean, and look at the cans.
That was the one that blew my mind. Was the 12-pack of cans being like an $8?
That's
case.
the one. I mean, 12 packs used to be $3.
It's
we used to get like 3 for $10.
When did they triple? And do we think that's appropriate? Let's get together as a community and talk about that. Do we think that soda 12 packs should have tripled in price? Does anyone think that's normal? Yes. No, so that's another one. And then they get you with the, buy 4, get the 5th free. I'm not buying 60 cans of Coke. Like what do I look like? Like, come on.
I thought you would have been proud of me. I walked out of there with 6 of them things because it was buy 2, get 1 free.
Go.
And my wife, Allie, looks at me like, did we really need this much? I was like, well, listen, I was cleaning that stanchion out and make sure I got them things for free.
Took advantage of the deal.
Oh, and here's another hot take. I can't get the digital coupon because I can't clip it to my phone because I can't get service in a grocery store. All right? That's part of the scam,
we
too.
We got the Armenian fired up today. Holy
that one gets my goat. All right? But I'll tell you what. I know where the discount bakery is. So I feel like
that's true. Yeah. I know you're gonna find that one.
Yeah. Some good hot takes here today.
Well, and I got a good hot take and one that was a very, very celebratory moment in the Schmidt household yesterday. Hot take: the passing through the Senate of the online sports betting bill yesterday.
There's one, yes.
Is one step closer to legalize sports betting, and most importantly, the safest sports betting in the state of Wisconsin. Now,
emphasize that, Billy.
It's an interesting one, and I saw some people wondering: is this going to end DraftKings in the state. No, it's not. Like, you're still going to be able to do your DraftKings contest. You'll still be able to do your daily fantasy contests throughout. However, the way that the bill is written, it's through a spoke model of a hub and spoke model, where the hub, the central server that every bet is taken on, that you are on either the Potawatomi app. There's a potential Ho-Chunk app that could be coming up. I know Oneida already has the blueprint and has their app where you can bet on tribal land through the server, but this one's going to be different. This is going to allow you, if and hopefully when passed through and signed by Governor Evers, that you'll be able to bet through the Potawatomi Sportsbook, our favorite sportsbook on this program, and you'll be able to do so because the server will be on tribal land. You'll be in the state of Wisconsin, and most importantly, Drew, every dollar that's invested in a legal sportsbook has eyes on it. Whatever this Kalshi situation that again is getting sued once again, stunningly, none of those are governed or looked at or being able to be legalized and governed by any real institution. So this is where you can finally get safer and safer and safer into the sports investing market. Luckily, we're this close. We're this close, Wisconsin.
There you go.
Then we only need we need these two bills.
Big day for the NIL thing. Big day for the sports gambling industry.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. We are reaching halftime. Time to make our adjustments. Eat an Uncrustable, an orange slice, perhaps.
I'm gonna have both.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have both. And a 10-gram per serving beef stick.
There you go. Scott Dolphin, our halftime correspondent from the country station down the hall. He joins us next. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddle up, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. We welcome to the program our halftime correspondent, Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall, fresh from from St. Patrick's Day. You were
partying.
You're on the front lines. You were there
we were
early. Kelly's Bleachers too in Wind Lake.
That's always fun. Kelly's Bleachers in Wind Lake is people line up at 6 o'clock because you get a free T-shirt, a commemorative T-shirt for that St. Patrick's Day.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, they had cheap breakfast and beers for $1.06. So all kinds of reasons to be there early. And just like I was looking at the footage around town yesterday, it was nuts everywhere. Like County Clare, McBob's, different legendary Milwaukee Irish bars.
Yeah,
they had pipers and dancers. Pretty cool.
Trinity, the Marquette students were out pre-gaming before class.
Spot. I don't know what Murphy's and Caffrey's had. The thing is, you wanted to get the shirt, you wanted to get the beer deals. Also, you wanted to be where everybody else was. And once upon a time, that wasn't on the internet. It was actually when we went out to go to bars, as everybody else was.
Oh God, Caffrey's! I haven't thought about that in years. That my daughter, when she turned 21, had her first drink.
That was my spot. My only
first legal drink.
My only regret about turning 21 when I did is that Caffrey's was under construction that summer.
Oh.
So the only one I could go to was Murphy's and Haggerty's, and I wanted to make the Trinity, the Caffrey's, Murphy's, Haggerty's, and get the shirts and the drink, all the free stuff. And so then I went back in after they remodeled and I said, hey, you guys usually give out a free shirt and like a pint glass for 21st. My birthday was this summer when you guys, and they're like, we're not giving you one.
Oh, Armen. I thought there was going to be a happy ending this time.
Armen's shaking them
Billy,
down.
I wanted the free. Can you believe that? They didn't give me the free glass.
That you were asking for something free? I
can.
totally believe that.
I was going to say, that's the least surprising thing on Hot Take Hump Day we were going to hear today.
Armen is the Costanza of our program.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The thing about doing a radio show at bars, though, on St. Patrick's Day is it's pretty chill in the morning. My first 2 years in Milwaukee, I did nights. I did 7 to midnight. And that was kind of scary at times. I remember my first year here, we were at the old Dairy Haggerty's Irish pub which now I think is Dugout 54, right?
On Blue Mountain, yeah.
Yeah. So we're in there, and I remember I had this table, and I was in the back room, and it just, the space kept getting smaller and smaller. I was like pinned against the wall. I thought, I got to get the hell out of here. People are a lot wilder and rowdier at 11:30 at night than they are at
That's true.
8 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day.
We've done bar gigs on opening day, which is a similar vibe, right?
Yep.
What's the craziest thing you've seen on St. Patty's Day? I remember they had a Lucky Charms eating contest, but you had to eat bowls of Lucky Charms with doused in green beer, not with milk.
Oh, that's
my gosh.
nasty. We used to do show us your biggest green thing for concert tickets.
Pause.
And a dude dyed his horse one time and
so glad you said horse.
An actual horse?
Yeah, an actual horse, and brought it to Water Street. We were at
what?
God, what was the Irish pub?
PETA could not have liked that.
McGillicuddy's on Water Street?
No, it wasn't McGillicuddy's. It was a different place, but it was this dude.
O'Danny's?
I don't remember. Maybe it was O'Danny's.
O'Danny's back then?
But
Brothers?
I think it was O'Danny's. But this dude brought his horse. We had to go outside and say, okay, yeah, gotcha. He brought his horse and he dyed it green.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to beat.
Drove it in a trailer downtown and
to Water Street.
To Water
double
Street.
Parked. Said, can you guys come out here? Because I can't. They said I can't bring the horse through the door.
I feel like you can double park that one. I feel like if you're double parked in by a guy with a green horse, you're probably waiting to see the
figure
horse.
it out. Yeah.
You're probably like, I'm not going to leave anyway here. I want to see.
If I go through the effort and trouble to dye my horse green, I want some, media attention. I want to be able to maybe go to the town of Erin. They had their St. Patrick's Day parade yesterday.
Right?
Something. You got to get the horse out and show them off.
Kind of surprised. I mean, nowadays you would have been able to bring that in. It would have been your emotional support green horse into the bar. But I love the fact. I love the fact that was the thought. What we're really going to do is we're going to go all out here and Pony. Get over here and get green because we're going to make sure that we are celebrating this thing right.
Yeah, right. That is pretty good. I mean, that's hard to top.
I guess any corned beef, you think?
I like people, and I tip my cap to people who go out and socialize and who open bars on St. Patrick's Day, sure. But it's like, maybe it's the contrarian to me. It's like, all right, that's like, there's an amateur hour element to it. Let's do that. Let's do a Tuesday. Let's go out a Tuesday at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
In October. And there's in the middle of a nothing Tuesday. That's not a holiday.
And people didn't come out.
I'll see my people out at the bar.
That would be fun.
Yesterday, Drew, these people were dedicated, man. They had itineraries. So they were hitting us early, and then they were going to go someplace that had Irish dancers and bagpipers, and then there was an Irish stew deal somewhere up on North Avenue. And so they were going there next, and they're going to head downtown for the evening. And it's like every hour was planned out for St. Patrick's Day.
Run a tab, call a cab. It's old school.
There you go. Yeah, or you could ride the bus for free, right?
Again, let's do that on a Tuesday in June or October when there's no reason. That's when you're a gamer.
That's when you're really going on a heater. Yeah,
that's true.
And the random Tuesday send is something that I definitely will miss. I do though, like St. Patrick's Day, that itinerary. I would probably be the worst person in that group because I'd be trying anything and everything to throw that itinerary off. My man has worked so hard on that for months. On his schedule. Don, we have 14 more minutes, so make sure you finish up your Irish car bomb now so that we can get ourselves over to our next spot. I would have been the worst guy in that group.
Yeah.
If you find a place you don't want to leave, that's going to throw a wrench in.
That's the thing.
We're having a good time here. Why do we want to leave? And
Scott
risk
Shannon
this?
got pancake deals. What are we doing?
Having a good time. Someone in your group struck up a conversation with a nice young lass,
You know, every once in a while.
Okay. Is that the right term? Irish lass?
Could be a lass kicker.
That's
yeah,
something completely different, Armen. And then you have that perfect storm year where the March Madness and St. Patrick's Day fall on the same day. That happens quite a bit.
Well, we went through that yesterday. Do you like that, or do you like it better when there are two separate parties?
I like it when it's together.
Yeah,
me too.
I like it because the bars are going to be crowded anyway, but then you have that element of people in there just all going nuts.
It's a game. Yeah, it gives you something to watch.
Yeah.
So rather than just like, oh, there's the Irish dancers. Oh, here's the,
Exactly.
Because after a while,
puking up green beer. Great.
Maybe it's just because I just always gravitated towards televisions. But you do, like, in whatever bar, I do have to see what's going on TV. There's only so much people watching you can do for 13, 14 hours. It also then gives another opportunity for there to be people that are losing their minds. And then the one young lady walks by and says, why are you mad?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, because I just lost. I had UMBC catching 12 and a half here, and they just got doubled up and lost. They gave up a 9-0 run with the final 13 seconds. That's why I'm
so
pissed.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
Is that your bracket? Wait a minute. Is that your bracket?
So, like, did they need to win?
They go, wait, I had this team. I had a cousin that went to Villanova, so I'm cheering for them. Like, all right, cool. I'm trying to watch some ball here.
Tell
Tell me your story.
First
lady.
world problems. So the St. Patrick's Day thing, we had the play-in games in the tournament. We had the World Baseball Classic, which was last night. Great theater.
Oh, yeah, all three games were incredible. I mean, frustrating. The United States couldn't hit their way out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge looking at two right down the middle, called third strikes. But yeah, it was a great night. I mean, that first game, I thought, oh, this is going to get out of hand. UMBC's not going to come back. All of a sudden, you had a finish that was exciting, controversial, with a coach coming on the floor and telling the official he needs a timeout after the ball was already in play. And then the second game, 1 second left, the kid from Texas hits the jumper. Two great college basketball games. I love that first four. At first I thought, oh, this is you're just trying to appease the people that don't get in, whatever. I love that event. It's great. And last night you had Charles Barkley and Dick Vitale on the call. The second with BA, who was not in good voice, by the way. He was. I hope he's better by opening day because he about lost his voice last night trying to call that.
Well, and he was struggling. And the funny thing is, listen, Dickie V and Charles Barkley were ready to pick up the slack. My guys were just doing a podcast during the game. And as somebody that wants to hear all of the Dick Vitale we possibly can before, sadly, we can no longer, right? Until we can't. Dude, that was beautiful listening to him and Barkley just gushing over each other for 2 hours.
It's awesome. Barkley's just a treasure. I mean, when he's talking to the studio guys, and Jamal Mashburn said, what do you think of Kentucky's chances this year? And he goes, I got bad news for you, Jamal. He said, if they get to the second weekend, they'll be lucky.
Yeah, he's funny. I mean, we know that by now, but
I also did like that Barkley was just pulling no punches. He's like, hey, man, I got to be out of here because there's random people coming to the studio. Knocking on the door. We have these bum-ass security over here at TNT. Nobody's even taking security, so I got to be over on the road. This is ridiculous.
They give us all the same combination codes. All of our lockers have the same 4-digit codes.
Hilarious.
So he said, if you guys want to go check out me or Shaq or Kenny's locker, you can just go.
Right now. So good.
So Dick Vitale is what, 86, I think, right?
That sounds about right. Yep, sounds about right.
How old was Coach Holtz? Because it seemed like Dick Vitale is younger and more. Has more vitality.
I think Holtz was 90, wasn't he?
90?
Armen looked out.
I don't know that he hit 9. I think he just
passed at 89.
89.
89. Okay, same as Bob Harlan, right?
Dickie V had his health issues, right?
He did have a lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them, but man, he's still going. He's still
And there's nobody that's happier to be on a microphone than Dick Vitale.
To be back, because he waited a long time. He couldn't talk. He's had voice issues a long time. He was tweeting about it a lot. And I'm just so happy to see him back doing what he loves the most.
Same. I mean, and that's what Barkley was gushing on last night. He's never met anybody that has done more for college basketball that wasn't on the court, because on the court he was just kind of a guy, right?
Yeah.
Briefly coached the Pistons, coached the University of Detroit.
University of Detroit,
and the Pistons,
But it was not a memorable career. But off the court, and Barkley's right. I mean, the guy is he flies the flag every single day of the year for college basketball. I got to be honest with you, and you probably, I don't know how you feel, Drew, back in the day, but I thought it was Dickie V over. They used to call him Dookie.
Yeah.
V, because it was ACC.
Baby.
Yeah, it was awesome. Get out
the excitement is infectious, right?
But now I've grown to love him like a lot of people have over the years.
Is John Fanta the next Dickie V? Some people have said that.
John Fanta's a star.
He is an absolute star.
Guy who loves the game of college basketball, So
yeah, he's a star.
Dickie V was one of the first ever sends where I got the self-addressed stamped envelope and sent a letter asking for an autographed picture, and I got the sweetest 8x10 calling me a diaper dandy.
That's
from Dickie V.
You got that from him?
It was one of the coolest things, and it
so
sat
cool.
right there in my bedroom for a
Billy, you're awesome, baby. You're gonna be a big star, baby. I already know, baby.
I love it.
That is
one of the
incredible.
great moments.
There are some guys, when you would go, they would personify big game, right? So you go to a game, and when I went to the first time he called a Marquette game that I was at, the excitement was incredible.
Sure.
You just get goosebumps like Dickie V's here. We're the biggest deal in college basketball.
Was it with Dan Schulman?
Schulman that Schulman was with Dickie V, and that's when Jay Bills was starting out younger as well and doing those games. Yeah, Schulman, that was awesome. So those days were great. Because you're like, oh my goodness, Dickie V's here. He would usually do a little thing where he'd go by the band in the student section and conduct the band.
Get them all riled up. Oh,
and you're like, this is our moment. Like, I remember having my disposable camera trying to take a picture of him. Man, So because of that, it just increases your enjoyment, a guy like that, of the game more as a fan. So it's pretty awesome.
It does. College basketball is in a good place right now. You know what? And those crews that they have for the NCAA tournament are good. Who was doing the Big Ten tournament? I love Ian Eagle. He's great.
Right.
He's really good.
So good.
Yeah. Billis last year said he got some heat because they have to make them predict the games, and he went all chalk, ended up being right.
Yeah.
All 4 number 1 seeds last year.
Wow.
I don't think that's the case this year. Duke's got too many injuries, little 3-point variance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on now. Give us a little bit more of that.
I think there's a big gap between the top 6 to 8 teams and everybody else, but it's still a little bit more open than it's felt.
Barkley last night said it's the Arizona Invitational, and 63 other teams
I do
are
like
invited.
them too.
Okay, I like that. Yeah,
I like them.
That's a really, really tough matchup if Wisconsin can get through Arkansas and go take on Arizona in that west spot. But Arizona hasn't won a national title in 30 plus years.
97?
97, and that's the last time any team in the western half of the country has won the national title.
Wow.
I think anything west of Kansas, right? So it wouldn't be the Mississippi River, but no one west of Kansas has won the national title since 97 when Arizona did it.
What I'm going to be asked this on a TV show coming up. What is your all-time favorite NCAA tournament March Madness memory?
Well, that's easy for me, and it's 2003 Marquette, so I'll start there.
All right, that's you.
Yeah.
Well, that's your.
Well, I guess if we're going homerism like that, for me it would have been when I was a young man. The last time Iowa went to the Final Four was 1980.
Ooh.
And so so that was probably mine. Although if you're just talking about a moment, it was probably Bryce Drew.
Yeah, great one.
Those are the best moments, aren't they?
I'm thinking of the Jimmy V moment, like that.
That's a great one.
Whole era,
that's a great one.
Like that early '80s era was pretty spectacular.
It was pretty amazing. And him running around the court and nobody wanted to hug. He's looking for somebody to hug.
Crazy.
Nobody to hug.
Mine was when I was a freshman at Whitnell High School, and it was the day of the national title game, and I was in the library. That's usually where I spent most of my time.
Oh, sure.
And one of the senior captains from the football team, Alex Shaz, walked up to me and goes, "Billy, Duke wins tonight. You win my bracket pool."
Whoa.
What?
So this was Wisconsin Duke?
This was Butler Duke.
Butler Duke.
Butler Duke. And when Gordon Hayward's ball bounced off the backboard and the rim and bounced off, I had never been so elated.
That was almost the craziest finish in the history of the tournament. I mean, a half quarter win it in Indiana for Butler.
Yeah.
Like that would have been crazy to beat Duke. That would have been the ultimate Hoosiers moment. So.
Yeah, but Brad Stevens, Gordon Hayward, those teams were locked and loaded, man. 2 straight years, right? They made it to the championship.
And 1 year they were like an 8 seed. They weren't even supposed to that 1 year. Yeah. So
Billy,
impressive.
Was that the moment for you? That's when the degenerate was born?
That lamp was lit earlier on in my lifetime when my dad and uncles were sitting around talking about it at the tailgate of wondering if they should put a hundy on the Packers. I'm like, Dad, wait, what happens? So wait, if they win by a certain amount, we win money? Wait, that's how that happens? Okay. I like this.
Look what you've become.
$7. Let's go.
Maybe you should put some money on Miami of Ohio tonight, Billy.
I am interested in that. I'm very, very interested in that.
6.5 now.
Right now, my favorite underdog is Troy.
Oh, come on now.
My favorite underdog is Troy in the father off.
Okay, what am I missing?
Fred
here?
Hoiberg's son on the team.
Okay.
Coach of Troy, his son's on the team. His second son committed to go on to the team. His third son might be even better. So it really depends on who's the better father in this game if their team is able to prevail.
There you go.
I wish I knew more about Troy basketball.
Me too. Dolph, thanks for popping in.
All right,
Appreciate the halftime report. Scott Dolph from the country station down the hall. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bring it to you on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Hot Take, Hump Day continues, 877-794-1973. Hot Take, it's entirely appropriate that the Packers are going to honor Bob Harlan by putting his name on the facade of Lambeau Field. Also, Hot Take, some might be surprised it wasn't already up there. They could have done it while he was alive, like after his retirement.
Hot take, I thought they did it 10 years ago. Honestly, messed up, Drew. I thought they did it a long time ago, but hey, I'm glad that they're going to be able to bestow that honor upon Bob and his entire family because they're going to be able to celebrate it forever now.
The other hot take is we love our round number anniversaries in sports, but okay, so it's the 10th anniversary of Bronson Koenig hitting the shot. That was yesterday.
That's a good one, yes.
BA and LePay with two of the great calls. And then just saw a story in the Journal Sentinel that this year, happy anniversary. AmFam Field turns 25.
How about that? It's looking pretty good at 25.
25 years into American Family Field.
Credit to the Brewers and everybody else involved for maintaining it, improving it over the
looks
years.
Pretty new.
Keeping it nice.
Pretty viable. Yep.
Always consistently one of the cleaner stadiums. They always talk about that. And the thing is, in an era where a lot of MLB stadiums haven't lasted that long, this is around the time where some places they've been looking for new stadiums. Think about Atlanta, Texas. I think Arizona wants one, maybe, or they're
they're trying to get one.
This is also, I think, the 5th year that it's been AmFam Field since it was Miller Park. So
we've maintained our
COVID when that happened.
Yep, we maintained our thing really well, and therefore our car should last.
Well, and I mean, there's also a significant amount of money that's going to get dumped into it to preserve the longevity of it. But if it wasn't for that first 20 years, then you would have been in a spot where you're like, okay, it's going to cost what, $650 million to renovate this?
More than the original
Are
cost.
we interested in thinking of just going $1.2 billion and building a new one? But then you get into the cycle that you just do it far too often. One other one, hot take. This young man, I don't know if you guys remember Jason McLewan.
Oh, I do.
McLuhan?
I think hot as a pistol.
Yeah.
Diagnosed with autism at the age of 2, 19 years ago yesterday. The viral moment. When he walked into a game and not just dropping himself a quick 3. Drew, he scored 20 points because he was hot as a pistol. You said it. He just knocked down every 3 imaginable. He missed the first, missed the second, and then he hit a 3 and another and another and another.
And then a buzzer beater.
And his team just kept feeding him. And I have never
lifted
seen
him up on the shoulders. That was a great moment 19 years ago. No question. Is he our current electric superhero of the day?
Well, you know what?
For the memory of that?
I was going to give him the superhero of the game, of the day, but actually it's going to go to J.R. Blount, who we are going to hear some more stories about J.R. He is an assistant coach right now at Iowa State. He is soon to be the new head coach at San Diego. He also played for our next guest at the top of the 7:00 hour. Played with it for him at Dominican and at Martin Luther, and one of the better Dominican. He played at Dominican. He was a star at Whitefish Bay Dominican. Was JR, and he was All-State 2004, 2005. Wisconsin's Sports Player of the Year in 2005. State title, I think they lost 1 game. Mike's going to be able to clear some of this up when he comes in. But, Drew, the real superheroes are the parents that are raising these kids, right? Because we're talking about this through the AAU lens. We're always talking about this in the travel scene. Mike tells a great story that JR's parents told him, you can have 1B. You can have 1B.
Wow.
You get more than 1B, you're not playing. And they held that all the way through while he was a senior and played at Loyola of Chicago. He earned his master's degree at UW Stevens Point. And JR is one of the parts of that brain trust there at Iowa State that not only has the Cyclones as one of the better programs in ball, but also has a huge Wisconsin pipeline going right out there to Iowa. So J.R. Blount and his family and all of those parents raising big-time high school basketball players in the state of Wisconsin. This is going to be your weekend, and you are all our superheroes of the day. Spring's right around the corner. The tournament always reminds us you're going to be starting spending some time outside. Might want to watch some games out there. It's going to be tough this weekend. It's going to be tough to have the TV outside this weekend, but your outdoor backyard is not ready to become that outdoor oasis you want. What's going to make it better? The lighting, and the way to be able to make that even better, to enjoy those spring and summer nights outside, is with the superheroes at Current Electric, turning that backyard into the outdoor oasis you've always dreamed of. See Current Electric at this year's Realtors Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th. Ask them the best way to enhance your outdoor living space, or just go check them out at callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com. And Drew, you really just want to be the envy of your neighborhood. You want to be the place that people tell everybody else, you got to go to Stately Olson Manor.
Absolutely.
You should see that backyard they have. Oh, it's amazingly lit. And Kern Electric can do that for you.
Absolutely. When we come back, our buddy Mike McGivern is going to join the party, talk a little hoops, high school side especially, but all kinds of hoops. He's tied to everything. More hoops talk. That's coming up. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Diller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 dead. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy got to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
Armen, Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Dominating a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Drew, Billy, and Armen. And if you're streaming us, you get to see our pal Mike McGivern in the studio.
Oh, big time.
Ladies and gentlemen, big time Mike McGivern right here in the Huddle.
What's going on, boys?
We are we're loving life right now. We have the World Baseball Classic. We got the overlap season. We got the high school tournaments. We got the March Madness. It's the sweet spot right now.
Yeah, you gotta love this. And
Love it.
before we start talking high school basketball, I gotta tell you two things. One, I love the show. I love the Huddle.
Well, thanks, brother. We appreciate that.
You know what? You guys doing a great job. I've never
Mike.
listened to a show that in the same segment you can talk about mushrooms and our peanuts and the the whole payday
Bars,
thing.
yeah.
That was awesome.
We got going on that one. Yeah, we did.
That's one. Number two is when Billy Schmidt got out of college, him and I worked together at a different station. The fact that he's on the air every day at 5 a.m. is shocking. To me.
A little different than what you
never
thought.
got home before 5 a.m. He would walk in the studio at 1 minute to 5 for a show that he was producing for me, and he was out.
Oh, yeah.
And, somebody dropped him off. I don't know who dropped him off.
That's why Murph in the intro said, "Oh God, this guy's been out all night."
I heard
He
the
really
intro. I
has.
thought it's a perfect intro.
Earned that one for a
It's-
number of years.
The 21-year-old Billy Schmidt and the now married with 2 kids, Billy Schmidt.
Yes.
Times they are a changing. That song. That's
Absolutely.
what keeps coming to mind.
Well,
So-
listen, luckily you listen to Faith in the Zone. You listen to a lot of things. Now, a little more ability to get some home improvement. We're helping this thing out, but we're dialed in on all of these. It was a lot of your help that's been able to get this maturity over the last 10 years.
Well, I don't know, but I'm not taking any credit for
I was
that
going
one.
to say, don't.
No
No.
credit. Thank
Don't
you
take
for
any
it,
of
but
that
no,
blame.
none. I'm not taking any
Nope,
of that.
nope. Maybe when Billy's boys get their D1 offers, you'll take some credit then.
100%.
Later
That
on
should be,
down
yeah.
the road, but he's got some work to do.
They're coming in some
All
sport.
right, so
Yeah.
Mike, we wanted to have you in to talk a little high school hoops because that's right in your wheelhouse. Hoops in general, of course. You're our basketball go-to guy, our high school sports go-to guy. This boys tournament has a tough act to follow after the girls tournament last week, and there's some pretty good games. That was some pretty good theater.
Unbelievable. Yeah, the Whitefish Bay game, the Arrowhead game, really unbelievable. It was, and in fact, Saturday on my high school show, the head coach and the 3 senior captains from Arrowhead going to come in studio and
Very
talk
cool.
about that journey and talk about that game was incredible. It just was, and Mary Merck does such a good job at Tosa East, and
Fantastic. So can the boys tournament live up? Well, not a lot of Milwaukee area representation.
not bad.
Not bad. What,
Not
four
bad.
schools? Like
Yeah,
four-
well,
four-
Wisconsin Lutheran in Division 1, right? And then Slinger and
Bay.
Whitefish Bay, Division 2. Racine St. Catherine's, Division
Yeah.
3. Milwaukee Juneau, Division 4. So there's some.
Juneau, we're there, but okay. Well, don't get me started on this rant. First of all, the logistics.
I want to get
of
this.
it.
I want to hear this
For
one.
the logistics of it, though, it kind of bums me out when the boys tournament in Wisconsin is up against the first weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Well,
Bums me out.
Yeah, double this up.
Get a little bit overshadowed.
Chuck Freeman and we're going to do a 1-hour preview show tomorrow or Thursday, right, at 12:30.
There's not an important game that's tipping off right there.
God, wife's not watching that one. I'm telling you, Terry's like, hey, honey, I love you, but the Badgers are on.
Right.
But I can tell you this, that having Chuck in and talk about a guy that knows, he'll say, hey, the point guard from Bonneville, hurt his ankle game 2 of the year, but he's back. And so he brings a lot to a show like that. So we'll do a 1-hour preview show on My 24 tomorrow or Thursday. Yep, tomorrow at 12:30, and then again on Friday at 8:30. So.
Yes. And then my other rant about the state high school tournament is, again, I liked it better when we had the Thursday and we had 8 teams.
Oh, come here, give me a hug. You know what? Sure, I love my wife, but you come a close second right now.
Man.
I've been complaining.
Stephen's point, what are we doing? We took something that was really great and we've watered it down, and it's not as good as it could be.
It's not.
When we had, the big division deserves the biggest bracket. 8
and
teams.
Back when I was coaching, we'd get a 30-minute run on the court. And that was so cool for our kids and for us, because we could watch, okay, what we're playing against them and what are they doing in their 30 minutes? And you could get out and your kids could get a feel for the court, get a feel for the hoops, and they took that away.
Yeah.
Well, and that feel for the court's an important thing, right? It's a different beast. You're playing on a much bigger court, and the rotations and everything are going to be just a tick different, isn't it?
It's 10 feet longer, 5 feet on either side. And what people don't understand is that's a huge deal, especially your kids, the heart is pounding a little bit. If you can slow the heart down a little bit, but you have to shorten your rotation. Some guys do, some guys don't, but everybody tries to get up to Madison Edgewood to get on that court to get a run, right? Or you find a college court to try to get your guys. And for tomorrow or for Friday, the teams that play at 9 a.m., I know schools that go to their AD and their principal and go, look, can we get our basketball team out of 9 a.m. class? We got to get them used to playing at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And some schools are good with that, and other schools, not so much. Not so much. They're like, no, you're not can't get the kid out of study hall to go.
Well, it depends on if we're talking to a assistant principal that used to be an athletic director, an assistant principal that used to be a librarian. There's going to be a little different.
Well, they got to have gym class in the gym. There's a lot of things going on.
We can move that around. All right, we're talking about state titles here. We're talking about trying to win for the program and win for the school.
100%.
Mike, I always kind of had this thought that I think about over the years some of the really good teams that were in other divisions. Or I think in the girls' side, it was Oostburg this year that played a lot of other divisions, that they're good stories. I always kind of wished that we could do something in the basketball tournament where the division champions played each other, only a couple extra games for like an all division state champion. Wouldn't that be cool to see some of these teams? I've always wondered, like the Dominican years when they had Diamond Stone and those guys, could they go up against D1? Yeah.
Or a little prior to that when I was over there. But And I can tell you this, those schools all try to play up, right? In certainly non-conference, and some of them play up in conference. I would love that. Try to get the WIAA to approve that.
No problem, right?
I'm not liking the chances.
No, good luck with that, because I can tell you that's probably not going to happen. But Armen, I'll tell you this. The amount of people that would come out to watch that.
How fun would that be?
And Mark Miller tries to do some of that with the WBY shootout, right? He tries to get teams that are so good in their division to play up a little bit and play against teams they've never played before and aren't going to play. So he does a good job.
Well, and how cool is that too? Where now WBY, we've been able to, and I've been lucky enough to sit next to you and call some of those games here on 920 in previous years, and hopefully get another shot to. But like when you see the talent just exploding through the state, right? Freedom's got one of the best players in the state. Obviously, Oshkosh North has become a little bit of a factory, and University of Wisconsin De Pere is now a basketball factory as well. But it's cool to be able to see the best players where there's more of the best players. It feels like, Mike, playing all of the best guys early on to make themselves better so that they can hopefully be able to get to this point.
100%. And look, when you talk about Division 4 in Milwaukee Juneau, first time they've ever gotten there. And Duty Johnson has committed, he's a junior, committed to Gonzaga. So how many times does Gonzaga come to this area to recruit somebody? And the fact that his dad, Torrey, is the head coach, and he played at Milwaukee Juneau, played at UWM. And on the press conference that we had, he said, look, when I was 17 years old, I didn't have somebody guiding me through some of this stuff. And I wish I did. So I'm trying to do that for these kids. And he did a great job on the press conference. And they had one loss, like their second game of the year against West Dallas Central. And other than that, they've gone undefeated. And I asked him in that press conference, did you think that? He said, absolutely not. He said, Milwaukee Juno, we've never gotten to state.
Never. That's amazing.
And the mighty Pioneers.
Mighty Pioneers. And and when the dad played, they went to sectionals. That's as far as they've ever gotten. And now they're trying to finish it. That's the best story. I mean, Wisconsin Lutheran's great story and national program and everything. But that to me is like the story of the tournament. I want to see Juno in their first.
Yeah, and they're going to play the late game on Thursday. So that about 8:00 tip against Regis, the 3 seed. And that really, there's a lot of interesting things going through this, even with teams from not around here. And it's going to be a really good tournament. It just always is. It starts in Division 3. And when you think of Seymour and St. Croix Central are going to start it off, and then Lake Mills against Racine St. Catherine's. And Billy, you're going to love this. 6 of their players are football guys.
That's what I'm talking
about.
Hamilton, that's what I'm talking
Hamilton going to Minnesota. They're EJ Vincent, who's their starting quarterback, is going to Stout to play football. But 6 of their basketball players all compete and get after it. And he said, look, they're really tough. And they're all football guys, and they like to win.
Do you think we're getting more of that though? Do you think we're getting to a point now where more high school coaches are kind of working together to try to get guys out for more sports? Because it feels like it's almost a competition between, maybe more on basketball side of like, hey, let's keep them competing for the school instead of with 18 different AAU programs. And if you want to go play football and you want to compete, go compete. Or am I kind of?
I don't know, but
for something more
for sure not in girls sports.
Fair.
Girls basketball is dying on the vine right now as far as numbers. It is. And look, for my favorite story on the girls side was Pacelli. They had 10 players in the whole program.
So they can barely scrimmage in practice.
Well, and then one got hurt.
Wow.
And one stepped away for
personal
stuff.
Yeah.
She had 8. She had 8 players. She had teachers that would come in to practice to get a run in, or she'd find boys that had played in the program years ago to come back. She said, I couldn't ask people so we ran more 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and then she made a comment. She said, we shot more free throws at practice than anybody in the country because I couldn't wear these girls. They had 8 players. I looked on the bench. She had more assistant coaches, and they ended up winning the thing. It's like a whole Hoosier thing.
And they became great rebounders because they never had anybody rebounding for their free throws.
Nobody.
Offensive rebounders.
Yeah. So that for me on the girls' side was the best story.
Love it.
And on the boys' side, look, if Slinger can beat McFarland on the 1:30 on Friday, in Division 2, and if Whitefish Bay can beat West Salem, you got 2 teams from the same conference. And so if people ask me all the time, what's the best football conference? Well, it's Classic. No, it's not. It's up in the valley. I know that. Whatever.
We already know.
Yeah, we know the answer. And I get so many people saying, you're wrong, McGivern. I get that. I hear
all
that.
Due respect to the fact that we know where it is.
But basketball, if you get 2 teams from the North Shore playing for a state championship, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And you talk about Division 1, Wisconsin Lutheran, obviously a big favorite. Is this as strong a favorite as you can remember in D1, Mike, through all those, maybe the Stevens Point run and those early?
I was going to say the Vincent run.
The Vincent in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anything tops those late 90s Vincent teams.
But this run, the Knipple dynasty, is going to put a stamp on things.
Oh, it's going to keep going.
This could be like the run of the greatest stretch ever, dynastic high school team.
Next year, they'll have 4 Knipples on that team. And
imagine being the 5th guy in that team, huh? Pretty nice to ride that bus.
I can tell you, I'll tell you this. I've been to a couple of their practices. Coach Wald's been kind enough. Here's what people don't talk about that team. They defend like crazy. And when they walk in the gym, they look like a college team. They're 6'10", 6'8", 6'7", 6'6".
Wow.
And then Walls' kid starts at guard, and people don't talk about him much. He's about 5'10". The kid's really good. He understands his role. He gets them into their stuff. He gets in the gap. He kicks. He defends. And people don't talk about their defense, and they don't talk about their point guard a lot. And I'll tell you what, Xavier Zenz is so good. He's going to Northern Iowa. And you want to talk about the Knipple family, and I get that. They're really good. Xavier Zenz is a stud, man.
He was really good 2 years ago when you and I had their game.
And he's got a little chip on his shoulder, and that's how he plays. And he's tough. It's gonna.
So I'd be shocked if they don't win.
Well, and it's funny because Appleton North has 3 seniors that have been playing varsity since their freshman year. All 3 made first team all conference, and their best player is a sophomore. And their coach said, "Look, Nobody thinks we can win except the guys in our locker room. And we're going to throw the kitchen sink at them, and we're going to throw some stuff at them that they've never seen from us. And then Walls got on, and he goes, hey, look, they've caught our attention. We know who they are. We've watched them a lot, and we're going to do our best to compete with them. But that's a tough draw for them. And then to Pure Madison Memorial, Steve Collins is one of my favorite, and he's not for everybody. Yeah, man, you never have to worry about what he's thinking because he'll just tell you. He just comes out and tells you. They had a kid who died in the offseason at an open gym. The kid had collapsed and died on the floor, and he said, "Look, our kids have gone through a lot of adversity, and you have to. This happened in front of us." And he said, "Look, we don't pass the eye test. We walk into the gym, we're not like none of our guys are going to get picked first." And he said, "But we just keep competing, and they've done some great things. They're going to have a tough draw with De Pere. De Pere, people didn't think we were going to be there this year. This is the year everybody's going to get De Pere." And Brian Winchester's like, "We know that.
Yeah.
And we're playing with a chip on our shoulder." I'm thinking, De Pere, you can't play with a chip on your shoulder.
Come on.
But he said, "Look, I got to figure out how to get my boys going."
I got no Domovsky boys. I got to figure this thing out.
No Domovskys, they were dynastic for a hot second too.
Yeah, they had a good run.
Yeah, you know what? And they're still, think about it.
They're still there on a down year.
What you said, are they?
But they're back.
Here they are.
Yeah, they're back.
They got 25-3. Not a bad year for them. Not a bad. And then again, Friday night or Friday afternoon in Division II, when you look at that Slinger team, I mean, they got some seniors, but two brothers, all right, the Conan brothers that are Division I kids, and they defend like crazy. They got some dogs on defense. And here's the cool part, Billy. You guys talked a little bit about Dominican back in the day and all that. Derek Berger, who coached Diamond Stone. He won 4 state championships and then stepped away, is an assistant coach at Slinger. He's got 2 boys on the team, and he's running their defense. And man, they get after it.
That's awesome.
They get after it. It's a really fun story.
Mike, have you ever seen this much top end talent in the state? Like, and how much of it goes to not only the coaches, but like the accessibility to seeing guys like a Tyler Hero, now more recently Khan, and other
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson is another. But I mean, I would go back to like Kevon Looney was a superstar.
Yes.
When I was younger and as a high schooler, he was the guy that you wanted to think of. But there was one, and now there's 20 of them. Like, is it just a different level of confidence in the kids now?
Yeah, I think because a lot of them play year round, right? Yeah. And Billy, back in the day, you had guys from up north that if they came down to the city, it was like, holy cow, like we haven't seen this kind of quickness. And now there's none of that anymore. Yeah. You're playing against people from all over the country, from every neighborhood, and there's no intimidation factor anymore. And the amount that guys are playing, and we talked about multi-sport athletes, a lot of these guys are like, no, I'm a basketball guy. I remember coaching, and I had a kid who was about 5'8", and parents were yelling that he needs to play more, and he was a really good athlete. And I said, look, I love your son. I think he'd be a great football player. He would be a great corner, a really good safety. And they said, no, he's going to the show. I said, he's 5'8". He can't dribble with his left hand.
You're probably not
going to go to the show.
Like
and they said, you don't believe in my son. And I said, no, I do. He's really good for our team at the high school level. So that kind of stuff. And I think if you play multiple sports, I think you get to learn how to compete, and you change the dynamic a little bit of your body, so you're not just doing one thing. And going back to that, Billy, I think it's important that kids do that.
I believe so much in it. Like, and I think it, guys, helps more than anything. Learn to not be the best player, right? Like learning and being able to manufacture and get some more adversity from when you're the best player on your team almost every single time. One of my favorites is you mentioned the Arrowhead girls and Natalie Cousseau. Well, her brother Peter was a 4th round draft pick, I believe, of the New York Mets a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago. And they had the tough conversation with my friend Matt Harris, head coach at Arrowhead High School, the football team, said, I think we're going to not have Peter play football this year. I think that's a bad idea. I think he can continue to play. Like, there's a lot of opportunity here. Well, he's going to focus on baseball. I think he made the right decision. I think he ended up making the right decision.
Madison Memorial has 4 Division I baseball players on their basketball team.
Wow.
4 of them. And again, Steve Collins said, look, I got to remind them, when practices, because they're out throwing, they're out hitting. And I'm like, hey, boys, we got to shoot around in 4 minutes. So like, coach, I got 50 more swings and I'll get to practice. And so that part of it, all of those stories that intertwine through this state tournament. And guys, I've been blessed enough to be to a number of these throughout my coaching career. I can't tell you much about the state semifinal or state final, but I can tell you about the journey to get there, right? And there's always one game in that journey that all of a sudden, your kid hits a 3 off the backboard with 3 seconds to go to win a game that you go, okay, we got through that one. Let's just keep going. And then you start playing well again. But there's always that one game that almost gets you. And look, Madison Memorial, Lake Geneva Badger took him to double overtime.
Wow.
He had three starters out with the flu, Madison Memorial.
And still able to get through it and power through. And Mike, you used to always say when we were doing games and into the playoffs, like your favorite game was the game to get to state.
Oh, sectional final.
The sectional final was always the favorite one.
It's so hard. It's so hard to get past that. And then you get past that and, the parades start and the confetti starts and the moms are crying, the grandmothers are hugging you, and all of a sudden they like you again. But then you've got to figure out the template, right? What time do we leave? Where are we going to eat? Where are we getting to shoot around?
All that scheduling,
Yeah. And Armen, the first, some of these teams, this is the first year they've ever gotten there. And so all of that, you've got to figure out.
That's
They
right.
start calling guys like Coach Wallersheim, who've been there a bunch of times, going, okay, where did you guys, what time did you go? What time, all of that. And the school wants the send off. You got to get the cops there to get the bus
That's
out.
right.
All of that stuff. And if it's the first year as a head coach, you're trying to forget about all that stuff and figure out, okay, are we going to zone up on
You're going to win this game or not?
Yeah.
But you have so much of that other stuff. And if you have a good staff that can handle all of that while you just focus, I was a bad assistant coach during that time. I wanted to focus on, what are we going to do against that 1-3-1?
Yeah.
And Wallersheim was like, you got to figure out where the sandwiches are coming
Where are we coming from? Yeah, where are we catering? Where are we driving?
Right.
When's the
How
shoot
come we
around?
only have 1 case of water, McGivern? We got to get 2 cases.
And kind of not letting all that, kind of cloud and bright, shiny things and all that energy take away from like trying to win the game on the court. So that's an interesting point. Your energy is infectious, Mike, and that's what makes this so enjoyable to hear from you and to talk to you about this stuff. We love it.
Before we get out of here, I had to ask you one more question. Now, we're all excited about the WBC, right, on the World Baseball Classic style. Yeah. You guys have a very special event coming up with a 3-time Olympic softball player coming up.
Yeah, three-time NCAA champion, 3-time Olympic champion, 2-time world champion in softball. Leah Amico is coming to Brookside Baptist Church on April 17th. And we're going to record Faith in the Zone the first hour with her.
Oh, awesome.
And with a live audience, which would be kind of cool. And then an hour of meet and greet. I'll become Oprah Winfrey and go out in the crowd and ask questions.
That's nice of her to take pictures of everyone meeting Mike McGivern.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. But we're going to invite it. It's an open event. It's a free event. We're going to have some food for you. But I don't know I've never had a chance to meet somebody in person. 3 NCAA, 3 Olympic gold medals, 2 World Cup. And she said, look, we were Oklahoma in the world of fast pitch softball before Oklahoma was.
Yes.
We won 3 NCAA national championships and then hung in there to play for the Olympic team 3 times and win 3 gold medals. It's just amazing. We're flying her in, going to have 2 days of events with her, but the Friday, April 17th, if you go to brooksidebc.org, brooksidebc.org, you have to register. We got 300 seats, and then we're going to probably have to cut it off. But we've invited a bunch of the softball teams from this area. And if you want to come out, again, brooksidebc.org.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Mike McGivern, thank you for dropping in. Always good talking hoops with you, my man.
You bet.
And best of luck on the pregame show. You're up against some tough competition.
At 12:30 on My 24.
Yeah, Chuck Freeman and that. What you can do is record the Badger game, then go back and watch it.
Join it in progress and catch up.
Yeah, or when we go to a break, you don't want to miss all the commercials because I sold most of them in. So
I was going to say, those McGivern agents, you don't want to miss any of those things.
You got to go with these superheroes and the,
right.
all my guys.
Donovan Jorgensen is heating it up. Listen, you want to talk about employee-owned folks being able to help you out.
That's right.
But more, I was just trying to figure out if there was a good tag. Is it My 24 and the my24.com? calm. Like I didn't have the pacing there to be able to
I don't have it either. Chuck Freeman will have it. He's going to be the pro on that show, just so you know.
Absolutely.
He's awfully good. Boys, thank you. It was really good to see you.
Take a quick break. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Thursday in the good land. Oh, that walk-up song means it's time to say hello to our buddy El Jefe himself. President of the Milwaukee Admirals, our pal Jon Greenberg joins us. Good morning, Greenie.
Good morning, gentlemen.
All right, coming off of the Olympics, got to ask you what you thought about the World Baseball Classic. A lifetime ago, you were in baseball, and to see them pull off this international competition, the 6th edition, the U.S. has only won once, but damn, it's good theater.
It really is. These teams really do care. I mean, you get these guys together, and it is really pretty special to watch. And while I want the U.S. to win every competition we're in, certainly you could have a lot of respect for the teams that have won that. And watching Venezuela celebrate and their fans celebrate, really, you could tell how much that meant to them.
Yeah, and that's one of the tough things is I always just want to win, but I do appreciate when somebody else is able to enjoy it just that much. And being able to enjoy hockey and baseball, it's a little symbiotic relationship. It's one of the same. It was one of the reasons why my kid was so excited when we went to the game and he saw the Brewers logo on the Admirals jersey. He's like, wait a second.
There's a connection there
together.
Yeah.
All right, now we're in. And this weekend kind of actually together with a deal that we got going on.
It does indeed. This Saturday night, we have 4,000 tickets, which actually is a pair of tickets. So 4,000 fans are going to get a pair of tickets to a Brewers Monday through Thursday game. That's good through, I believe, June 4th. It's going to be a neat opportunity in their loge level seats. So second level seats, good place, a chance to bring your glove, and take advantage of some Brewers baseball. Which after our weather this week, thinking of something warm and being outside in the ballpark is going to be really fun.
All right, you mentioned the weather. Jon Greenberg, president of the Admirals, joining us. How about a postponement due to unsafe ice conditions? I got that email the other day, and I know you guys are getting ready for a broadcast and a ball game. What happened? Like how common is that in your league? What are contingency plans for a malfunctioning or insufficient ice?
Well, it was certainly a rarity. What happened was Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, they had a couple of events during the course of the week there, which had their ice covered. There was a power outage in downtown Grand Rapids, which forced their ice system to shut down. The backup system didn't activate. And when they uncovered, which unfortunately didn't happen until overnight before game day, because they had a concert in their building, they found that there was a lot of degradation of the ice, and it became unplayable. Both teams went and skated at the practice rink while they worked on the ice all day long. Both teams took the pregame warm-up, and at that point it was deemed that it was not going to work. So we ended up having to postpone that and get it canceled as quickly as we could. Unfortunately, they had a building full of people at that point. So it was tough sledding for being able to convey that message. But we were able to play the next day. Ice wasn't great, but it was good enough. Nobody wants to take advantage of a situation where you have to, be out there putting your guys at risk, either team. So you want to get it where it's playable, and it was playable enough, and we ended up winning that game, which was even better. But then, it's this late in the season, you have to try and find a rescheduled date, and that is not an easy task either, because you don't have many days left on your calendar to squeeze a game in. But we are going back to Grand Rapids next Tuesday, and we will play that game then. It worked into our schedule. It actually needed Players Association approval, because it puts Grand Rapids into a situation where they're playing 4 games in 5 days, which is against the rules. But it was the only way to really make that work.
Well, and important because points are at a premium this time of year, and obviously Admirals fighting for that playoff spot need every chance to get points they can, right, Greenie?
Absolutely. And we're, sharing that message with them. It's like, we can't just not play this game. We need these points. Grand Rapids has obviously had an unbelievable season so far. They're way ahead of everybody in the Western Conference, but those points are important to us, and we need to make sure we get these games played.
And an early puck drop today. Are you in Winnipeg? Are you in Manitoba today for the puck drop?
Yes.
And
Well, I would tell you that I'm looking outside my window here in St. Francis, and it looks like Winnipeg.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. And is this their school day game? Because I didn't know if they had the same deal in Canada where they, have school
They do
day.
go to school, I think, at 10:30
They do
in
go
the
to
morning.
school in Canada?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
What
know.
I've read, they
there.
do go to school there.
They got books and everything,
Yep.
Armen. Yeah.
Yes, this is a school day game for the Moose, and
Sorry, Greeny.
so we're going to play there this morning, and we'll have the night off. We actually got in there Monday night after a very long day of travel with all the weather and everything else. But we got in there Monday night, practice yesterday. Our guys actually went to the Predators game because the Predators were playing the Jets last night, so that was a unique experience for our players.
That's cool. Awesome.
Then play this morning, and then we'll have a night off to relax, and then play again tomorrow night, and then come on home.
See all their old teammates.
They got to play. I mean, so they were St. Patrick's Day evening at a NHL rink watching the game. That's pretty cool. Having a few pops, and now they got a school day game today. That's going to make for an interesting landscape. Early. That's amazing. Greeny, you've played a number of games on St. Patrick's Day, and the wearing of the green ice. What kind of stuff do people do when they have home games on St. Patrick's Day?
I remember when we've had games there, we've talked to our good friends at Miller Coors and Beer Capital about getting us some green beer. So we were able to do that. I'm not a big proponent of dyeing ice to a different color because generally it never looks the way you really want it to look, and then it takes a lot of work to make it look the way it was supposed to look in the first place.
Right.
So I'm not a big proponent of that, but certainly the special uniforms. We actually just had a game auction last week of a couple of our old St. Patrick's Day uniforms that did very well. So if we end up with a game on that date in upcoming seasons, I'm pretty sure we can rekindle something creative from a uniform perspective.
Now, Greeny, as much as we talk about this upcoming weekend and Saturday night is going to be a phenomenal one, and Brewers take a giveaway, a doubleheader coming up next weekend against the Henderson Silver Knights, and a post-game concert coming up on Saturday. But you also, on Saturday, not only are people going to be able to listen to some tunes after the game, you guys got a Milwaukee Dice Cup giveaway. And leaning in on the things that we love. I don't play cribbage. I know I probably should. I should be more of that. But bar dice is one game that we're going to be playing a lot of in the city of Milwaukee. I like that we're going right on into it and experiencing Milwaukee.
Yeah, how about that for something different? We haven't done this one before, and I believe we've got 800 dice cups, so that should cover a good amount of the people who'd like to partake in that particular activity. So those will be given away on that Saturday night. Yes, with the post-game concert with Parmalee afterwards, and that should be a really fun night. And the night before is our ASL night. So we are paying tribute to the American Sign Language as Oasis Weisblatt on our team grew up with deaf parents. So it's a really unique story. And he and his brother Ozzy was here the last couple of years. We wanted to do something to help raise awareness for ASL, and that whole production that night is going to go in that direction. So it's going to be a really special weekend next weekend. But first, we got to take care of business on Saturday night with Grand Rapids here, and the Brewers take a giveaway. It's also outdoors night. The DNR is going to be in the building. Waste management is going to be there doing a lot of stuff about sustainability. So just another chance for us to share lots of very important messaging.
Fantastic. Greeny, best of luck. We're down to 15, 16 games left, right? Sound about right?
Yeah. It's 16 left, and we would like to, pile up as many points here. I think, this series, these two games here are important. We're still within shouting distance of the Moose in the standings. They're in third place. Still, we're behind Texas, so we've got work to do. But if the season ends today, we'd be in the playoffs, but we wouldn't mind improving our standings.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen and fill up the house.
Chair.
Everybody in the arena for these final stretch of games matters. So let's fill the house up, no doubt. So.
Greeny, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for getting up early. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks.
MilwaukeeAdmirals.com, the website. Check out our pal, Jon Greenberg. And,
the best.
And in that environment, you guys can really make a difference. It really changes the energy.
That's why Armen's always talking just mad stuff on the glass.
I'm trying not to get kicked out.
He can make.
I am an Admirals employee, so I'm trying not to get kicked out when I'm on the glass talking to the goalie a little bit.
But you're in his ear.
A little bit. Yeah, I tried to
You're
sneak
not
it in.
You're not letting him slide over there.
Yeah, but I also like to say something and hide behind people and do that whole type
That's
of thing.
true. You do have big my offensive linemen are here
Yeah,
energy.
exactly.
Yeah, that is right. Hey, our friends at Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin are there for you. orthowisconsin.com, the website. Check them out online. I had friends tell me to go there. I'm glad I did. Coming up on the 2-year anniversary of my hip replacement. If you have a sports injury or a nagging issue, see the best Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. orthowisconsin.com. Closing ceremonies, a little wake and bake action coming up for you. We'll close down Hot Take Hump Day, but you still got time. If you got a hot take that you're dying to get off your chest, 877-794-1973 gets you in. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bring it to you. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, the Wednesday edition. We are almost over the hump.
We're right there, Drew.
It's 6 minutes away from being over the hump.
One last little bit. What about a wake and bake opportunity to get you over that hump?
Let's go.
Now, I don't know. Maybe this turns into a hot take. Maybe it doesn't, but promo code Huddle at happyplacehemp.com for you to join in on the fun. 25% off and free shipping. 25% off and free shipping. All those other promo codes you knew in the past, forget about them. Huddle at happyplacehemp.com. American hero Jack Hughes. Now, a lot of people wanted to be Jack Hughes last night. I saw PCA wearing the Jack Hughes jersey.
Yeah, they walked in wearing all the game-worn Fanatics came through with those jerseys.
Oh, they got those somehow.
The
Fanatics came through with those, yes.
Yeah, game-worn.
They were. Okay. It was nice of them to do that. Now,
I hope they've been washed because hockey stuff smells pretty bad.
Yeah, but you want to keep the good juju on there, right?
Yeah, well, that's true.
But also, maybe we figure out how to put the J on the back of the Jack Hughes jerseys that you're still selling and telling people that are going to be out in September.
Yeah,
but
right.
Great work, Fanatics. But this one comes from Jack Hughes and the Hockey Hall of Fame. Now, guys, I'm not familiar with the Hockey Hall of Fame's exploits. And
I've been up there in Toronto. It's a fantastic facility. Great tour. Good way to spend a couple hours.
How about this one? The Hockey Hall of Fame is where Jack Hughes' game-winning goal of the golden goal for Team USA's win in the Milan Olympics, currently on display in Toronto. Well, Jack Hughes told ESPN in an exclusive interview, not too happy about it.
Interesting.
I'm trying to get it. Like, that's some bull that the Hockey Hall of Fame has it, in my opinion. Why would they have that puck? I don't see why Megan or I shouldn't have those pucks. Continued on, did Jack Hughes, so now American Hero, said, honestly, I don't know where the puck went when he was asked about it by Tony Granato on an interview on TNT on February 26th. Granato said, hey, man, where is that golden goal puck? I sure as hell don't have it, Hughes told him in the interview. Now, Jack Hughes did say, I wouldn't even want it for myself. I'd want it for my dad. I just know how much he'd love having it. He collects everything from my brothers, Jack, his brothers Quinn and Luke, both play in the NHL. When I look back at my time in my career, I don't collect many things for myself. My dad's a monster collector for all three of us. I know he would have a special place for it. Now, the Hockey Hall of Fame says, well, we have a very special place for it. These donated items represent the defining moments of the world's biggest stage and carry powerful stories of national pride and hockey history at the highest level. The Olympics 26 display will help ensure that these unforgettable Olympic moments are preserved for our guests around the world to experience. But are they really experiencing it that much in Canada? I don't know that the Canadians really want to walk into their Hockey Hall of Fame and see a big old display of the two game winners against their country in the gold medal match.
That's a good point. I see both sides of this. It's kind of tough. You'd think there should be something to commemorate a great event. And things get sent to the Hall of Fame all the time, you know, be it bats and gloves and balls and jerseys.
But aren't they donated by the player?
Doesn't the Baseball Hall of Fame just ask for stuff?
They have guys at major marquee events and ask for stuff.
We need
Can
this
we get
and
your
this.
cleats? Can we get these?
It's interesting. Do you have to say yes, okay? Do you have a choice in the matter? Who decides that? Do they get jurisdiction? There's a lot of interesting questions here. And I would think that, how much do the Canadian fans want it? But Hockey Hall of Fame is for hockey fans in general. And can't they work a deal where Jack?
You think they're ignoring the last 20-some Stanley Cup winners because they weren't Canadian?
Just not represent them at all.
93, I think. Can't they just get, if he wants the puck? Can't he send him a stick in exchange and keep the puck?
Probably.
There's some way they can
think. But apparently, it sounds like the Hockey Hall of Fame said no.
Bad on the manager, whoever was supposed to get that puck and secure it. You got to think about that. Who's getting the ball? Who's getting the puck?
The Hall of Fame hasn't found. Jack Hughes did say he hasn't been able to get in touch with the Hall of Fame. The Hockey Hall of Fame declined and did not respond to messages from ESPN.
Ooh, ghosted.
Nor did USA Hockey. And that's the interesting one because, like you just said, I would have thought it would have been the player. I would have thought the Hall of Fame would have went up and said, hey, man, can we have this golden goal? Can we celebrate it? Can we put it up? Or, maybe they did just ask the equipment manager. He's like, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, where's the Jason Schauger? Where's Shogs? Where was the equipment manager? The best in the business.
And Shogs would have had to have the answer for it. I know he would have had an answer for it.
The guys that think ahead about this stuff. When the Cubs in the World Series,
Rizzo put the ball right in his pocket.
I do appreciate as kind of a sports nerd that some guys think about that stuff. I remember reading a story of when Larry Larry Bird switched jerseys at halftime of Game 6 of the '86 Finals because he knew they were going to win, and he wanted to have 2 jerseys from the championship game and stuff like that. So it is kind of cool, but I'm sure obviously you win a game like that, and that moment's not really on your mind. But man, that is an interesting one. It's tough for me. I would think he should get it back for Pops. I mean, I would think so. But
I think if he wants it, he should have it. However, I mean, do you really need it?
I also don't think it's total BS. I think it makes sense that the Hall of Fame wants it.
Let it sit for a couple of weeks at the Hall of Fame.
I don't. Yeah, we'll let it have a nice little run here for a couple of months, and then we'll send it to Pops and put it on the mantle.
That's better. That's
That's
right?
the idea. Yep.
I like that he's like, take it out of Canada. This is ours.
I love it.
That's my favorite part.
HappyPlaceHemp.com, Drift Seltzer, Drift Gummies, personal favorites, the Sleepy Time Gummies, all the products. We love them. Use the code HUDDLE, 25% off and free shipping. So check out our guys at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Shout out to Rob and Chris.
Now, I got to say, Drew, today's Who's Hot, Who's Not brought to you by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, serving our community for over 40 years. DonovanJorgensen.com for more information. Hey, man, shout out to Howard. I know Armen's been waiting for us to talk more about the play-in games from last night. Shout out, Howard, getting yourself your first ever NCAA tournament win, even though it's totally not an NCAA tournament win. It's a play-in game win, but it's close. And congratulations. Who's hot right in there?
Shout out Trey Crosby. He gets that. That's a big one for Trey.
Who's not? Will Wade. Sorry about it, bud. Sorry about it, bud. They're in NC State. Guess they're going to have to go and shake down some more cash to be able to figure out if the Wolfpack's going to be able to get one. Tonight might be Miami of Ohio that's not hot. Lose their final 2 games and get bounced.
That is a big one. Oh, we'll have plenty to talk about tomorrow as we just basically be a pregame show for the tournament. One of the glorious days in sports is tomorrow. It's been a fun Wednesday. We're over the hump. We'll see you at 5 a.m. Thursday.
Peace.